So Brian Johnson just cloned a newborn baby version of himself and plans to harvest its organs in another step towards living forever. But it isn't quite what you think. Currently, the baby lives in a petri dish, and it's just an experiment. But he believes one day it could help him grow replacement organs after his autoimmune gastritis diagnosis. Scientists have responded, saying that cloning technology is still years away from routine medical use, but Johnson believes it could eventually allow him to rebuild his body using his own cells.
There could be...
That is scary, Seekers, bro. People cloning replacements just to harvest their organs? That sounds dystopian to me. No words, man.
Celestial. There could be extra Earth, outside of Earth, space aliens, and there could also be angels and demons. These could be two totally separate things. One could be true and not the other. I totally concede and agree with that point. I guess what I'm saying is it's a distinction that is conceptually interesting to me, but if a space alien with like superhuman technology comes to the Earth and has malicious intent, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell the difference between that and a demon.
If they have malicious intent. But I mean, isn't that also the case with visiting people, right? Like you could have a country and you get visited by the Peace Corps, or you get visited by pirates.
Yeah.
You know, and are the pirates demons? Is the Peace Corps angels?
No, but I think we're talking about something much different. I mean,
are we talking about something different, or are we talking about a hyper-advanced version of that?
We're talking about... I mean, as I understand it, we're talking about things that exist outside the United States. Outside of the Earth, okay? And
Perhaps.
Two different types of beings that could exist outside. I mean, okay, maybe...
There's a lot of people, you know, Tim Burchett thinks that they're here.
There's Atlantis, or there's something else like that.
Well, they're somehow or another, they're survivors of a long-gone civilization that live under the ocean.
Legends that are literally impossible to survive, part 1. The Skinwalker. Now, I'm gonna be real, if any of these on this list aren't real, I'm praying that it's the Skinwalker. Because according to the legend, the Skinwalker doesn't just hunt you, it messes with you first. It's said that it can mimic your friends and family's voices. On top of that, it disguises itself as animals, so you don't really know what's around you, with its sole goal to lure you into the woods without you realizing how far you've actually gone. So if you ever find yourself in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden start hearing something calling your name, it's time to get out of there. We then have the Dogman. Now imagine camping in the middle of the woods and all of a sudden you start hearing something walk around your campsite. At first you think it's just a normal wolf, until it stands up on its back legs. Because according to the legend, the Dogman is a massive wolf-like creature, spotted all across North America. And people claim that it doesn't attack you first, it stalks you. And I'm gonna be real, I don't go camping often, but if I did and peered my head outside of my tent and saw a massive wolf standing on both 2 feet, I'm out of there. And finally, you have the Hide Behind. And I guarantee you, most of you have never heard of this one, but it might be the creepiest one on this list, because the Hide Behind stalks people who go deep in the woods. But here's the most terrifying part. No matter how hard you try not to look at it, you never can. Every single time you turn around, somehow it's behind you. And the second you're completely alone, it attacks. And I can't lie, after making this video, I am 100% staying out of the woods for as long as humanly possible. Don't forget to like and follow for more, and comment down below what other urban legends I should cover next.
Would you really eat humans? I want body in like haven't you been to that bodies exhibit down? Right? Have you been there?
I've been there.
I feel like we've eaten everything. Like everything has been eaten in fine dining. What's one thing that hasn't been served?
But what body part would you eat? Like, I feel like I'd eat some like
I would give you
probably
if
the
I were
belly.
to pass away naturally. I would give you a piece of my arm. It just you can.
So someone actually called her out on the comments that she made, and she then doubled down on it. The thing is, if that's what she's willing to say in the open, in front of everyone, then what are the things that she has done behind closed doors? And this is not the first time that this person has made such weird, controversial comments. I'm sure you must have seen some of them circulating by now. This person just strikes me as one of them who doesn't care, who knows the truth. Tell me I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
We got a weird object, or better yet, a weird light, shooting across the sky over Florida. Or more accurately, it looks like it's taking off, going into space from Florida. Let me just show you the video. Here's the first part. You can see this light? And yeah, it's going up in the sky from Florida. Whatever it is, it looks like it took off from Earth and was heading up. Now look, I'm not saying it's a UFO, as in something from another planet. I'm not saying it's an orb, because it doesn't really act like an orb.
True.
But it's definitely something strange, although there might be an answer. Is it possible this is some kind of rocket launch? Nothing nefarious like a missile, more like Starlink or some other top secret NASA thing. No, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But people saw this thing. They took pictures and videos of it. It happened in Florida or over Florida. And we're not getting any answers of what this thing was. So we're just going to have to guess. And that's what I want from you, your opinion. Is that some kind of rocket launch like Starlink? That's what I'm thinking. Or is it one of the other 1,000 possibilities? Let me know your opinion down in the comment section. Shabadoo Booshkies, Shabadoo.
I think that could have been a rocket launch. But the thing is, you just see it stop, though. It kind of just, like, disappears, right? Maybe hit the firmament.
Not really hollow. There are cities underneath the earth, and they've been down there. The people went down there at the fall of Atlantis. There's a whole city. It's got a sun, it's got water, it's got lakes, it's got animals. It's beautiful, and they're more highly advanced than we are. But that is inside of the earth.
And they live thousands of years old, I understand.
Oh, it's been down there since Atlantis. The survivors of Atlantis, some of them went into the hollow earth. The entrances are found underneath the pyramids of the world. They had the entrances to the hollow earth, and the pyramids were built on top of the entrances. This means the one in Egypt, the one in South America, anywhere there's a pyramid, there will be an entrance going down into the hollow earth.
Hold up, y'all. Don't eat no eggs right now. Pay attention. I'm gonna need y'all to check y'all refrigerators. Nah, I'm serious, fool, because over 19 million eggs have just been pulled for possible salmonella contamination. Now ask yourself this. How many people you think already got this shit sitting in their refrigerator right now? Or how many people you think this morning was whipping up some eggs? Or how many people you think finna have a big breakfast tomorrow? And they probably got some salmonella eggs. These eggs was already shipped to grocery stores. Hold up, I got the info for y'all. The recall eggs were sold under brands including Kroger's, Simple Truth, Brookshire's, Country Morning, and Sun-Ups. If your carton has P1950 or 0840 962 and a sell by date between July 20th and August 17th, 2026, don't eat them eggs. Get rid of them. Imagine how many people woke up to get their egg whites, their boiled eggs, their scrambled, their fried hard, and they had the toast to go with it, or pancakes waffle with the bacon. And now this news come out and they just read it, but they already ate the
in Obsession is Bear's cat, the cat that died. The spirit went into her. Wait, what? Remember how she was in the corner hiding and watching him sleep? And remember when she first came out? Yes. She moved like this? Oh. Like what? Like what? Like a cat. Oh my God. Moving like a cat. And then what did she do? Cats, they like bringing dead mice to their owner as a gift. Okay. And what did she do later in the film? Spoiler. No. She the girl and brought it to him. Also, she even brought the dead cat inside. Remember in the silhouette, you can see her eyes, they were glowing. Cats have eyes that glow at night. Also, she was waiting at the door for him all day. Cats do that. That's the same way cat, yeah. The theory is, when the cat died, the spirit of the cat was following him when he made the wish. When he asked the One Wish Willow, I wish he loved me more than anyone in the world. Yeah. The cat spirit was around him and went into her. Oh, that's the cat loved Bear more than anyone in the world, because that's all the cat knows is Bear. Oh my God. So if you rewatch the film, as if it's Bear's cat, literally feels like it's a pet that's so attracted to its owner. Yes.
Seekers. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Obsession. It's a freaking, that's like one of the most popular movies out there now. That cat freaking on theory. It was making sense though. Adding up, man. Tell me if you guys believe that down below.
Is the gray goo hypothesis, otherwise known as black goo. What happens if you ever build a microscopic machine that can copy itself? This idea started with the work of John von Neumann, one of the most respected mathematical and scientific minds in history. Von Neumann studied the logic of self-replicating machines long before nanotech was even a word. Decades later, engineer K. Eric Drexler popularized the nightmare molecular scale assembler scenario, otherwise known as the gray goo scenario. The idea is that molecular scale assemblers could replicate exponentially, turning organic matter into raw material for more machines. In this scenario, what starts off as a microscopic dot within an hour could swallow up an entire nation, and within a day it could swallow up all the organic material in our solar system. This idea is taken very seriously. There are even billionaire bunkers specifically designed for this scenario.
A post by Kris Jenner in October may have revealed that Kim Kardashian was the mystery buyer of a $5 million Basquiat painting. Just look at Kim's home here. This is the full picture of it. It was bought in 2017 at Christie's, and if you look at who owns Christie's, you'll find it's the same people behind Balenciaga. You're gonna start to see how everything is connected. Christie's sells some very interesting artwork, including stuff by Jake and Dinos Chapman, and here's one of their pieces of artwork, probably one of the only ones that I can even show on here. Kim K was actually also in a bidding war with Tom Brady over a George Condo piece for $2 million. If his name sounds familiar, he's the one who created those private invitations for the A-list only all-white party last year. Now Brady's also a big Basquiat fan, just look at the background of his home here. I also once noticed an interesting Basquiat painting in Ellen's home. You might remember this video, but she posted this during COVID. And isn't it strange that her shirt matches the painting that I showed you earlier? As the camera pans over, you can see in the background of her home the Basquiat painting, and this one in particular says Evil Thoughts, but you'll start to learn she has quite a few of these. This one in particular has interesting letters on it, similar to what you would see in the work of Marina Abramovich. And then Ellen once posted this picture of her cutting her own mother's hair on Instagram, and if you look above this picture, you can see another Basquiat painting, and this one just seems off.
This dog refused to go near this house. Why?
Okay, can anyone explain to me why my dog will not walk past this house? No matter what I do, he does this. What is happening?
He knows.
The owner was simply out walking her golden retriever when the dog suddenly stopped, refusing to go anywhere near a particular property. Instead of barking or acting aggressive, he appeared genuinely frightened, pulling away as if something there was deeply wrong. Thousands of viewers immediately said they would trust the dog's instincts without question. Some believe animals can sense things humans can't, danger, strange energy, or even something paranormal. Others offered more rational explanations, suggesting the home could have one of those high-frequency devices designed to keep animals away, producing a sound that humans can't hear but dogs find unbearable. But what unsettled people wasn't just that the dog stopped. It was how determined he seemed to avoid that exact location. Whatever it was, he clearly wanted nothing to do with it. And sometimes, the most disturbing part of videos like this is wondering what made him so afraid, because whatever caught his attention may have been standing there the entire time, completely unnoticed by everyone else.
I don't get it.
I need you to say that again.
I'm a member of the Flat Earth. You ready?
Ready? Oh.
I'm American Aeronautics pilot. I'm a member of the Flat Earth Society.
God bless you, brother. Wow, the truth. I love it. Mwah.
How long have you been a pilot for? 43 years. Wow. What shape is the planet? Flat.
You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
Like for Delta, 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat?
The world is flat.
Confirmed.
Completely flat. Completely flat.
And ice wall? What's beyond the ice wall?
You get to that and you go down, and then gravity works in a different direction. So when it rains, it doesn't fall on the floor. What if it falls
Is there another world beyond the ice wall? Wow.
Slave first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, you're not a free person first. You're a slave first, and you need a hat to indicate you're free, which means I can snatch that hat from you. You know what I mean? Those who give it can take it away, take it away, type of deal.
Weird. It's right in front of our faces, man.
We have another major outage, and I'm guessing this one is just a coincidence.
Okay, you see, this is the type of shit that happens in movies. But when you pinpoint it in real life, they call you crazy. So most of the people in America that have T-Mobile service don't have T-Mobile service right now. And they're writing it off as a major cell service disruption. Basically, almost everybody on T-Mobile is feeling it right now. And if you remember what happened with the Verizon outage, that outage caused AT&T to crash. That outage caused T-Mobile to crash. Now, what if that trickles over to those other phone companies, just like it did last time? Mind you, look at how many places are affected on that map. You got the East Coast almost fully red. You got down south almost fully red. And look at the West Coast. Not to mention, look at the Midwest. All that shows me is you have a lot of people without cell phone service. You got people without Wi-Fi. You got people that might not be able to make a call if they have an emergency. T-Mobile has reports past 80,000, and that number is climbing. And they're saying that it can take them almost 2 days to fix this problem. And let me ask you this. What about elderly people that have cell phones? What about people that will have emergencies within these 2 days? What if they don't have a landline? Mind you, they're downplaying it like it's a simple outage. But they're saying it's going to take 2 days. Yeah, okay. Heads.
Can't put all of our freaking faith, man, these phones, bro. Because like I said, what happens if a line go down or the outage like last year, bro? People can't contact their family members, man. You need to go back to the old days, bro, of communication, man. In case it comes falling down, bro.
I want you to think this is like, what is this called again? It's like to protect you, like a third eye, to protect you with people who's envious. Well, what do you want? The heart? Because I want for both of us. I just want you to pick first. The heart.
This is sweet, but I don't think we should wear it.
Why?
Because this is biblically illiterate.
Yes, I married my brother. Yes, we have 2 kids together. No, it is not incest because we don't think it is. We simply just don't think it is. And we are going to continue to stay together and married because we've been this way for years. So what is the point on changing it up? Our kids already know. They're also really young. So they don't know any different, okay? So we're not going to change things up now because they are so young. Also, like, what's the point? Why would we want to change it up just because of blood? You know what I'm saying?
No, I actually don't know what you're saying. That's actually extremely concerning. The fact that you even felt comfortable enough sharing that with the entire internet. What happened to keeping secrets? Do we just not keep secrets anymore? How could you do that to your children? Like, how would they even explain that to anybody? Like, do you get along with your mother-in-law? You know what? Never mind. It's my fault for having a phone. I'm just gonna switch to a landline instead.
Yeah.
Hoping that's fake, man. Please, bro. Please, please, please.
Bro, I want y'all to see something. I'm deep in Kentucky right now. You see the sky? Let me give y'all a close up. That is not the sun creating that color. Right there is energy. It's called iron red oxide. Iron red oxide. Some say red iron oxide. It's okay. But it's iron red oxide. Don't let them tell you nothing else different. At some point, what you see right there, that red stuff in the clouds, at some point, it's going to be so thick, it's going to drop to earth, and people are going to start to breathe it and heal themselves. And other people, that energy is going to do something different to everybody, okay? Red iron oxide, look it up. You need to go to TikTok or Google or whatever. Just look, iron red oxide, O-X-I-D-E. O-X-I-D-E if you can't spell it. That's what's in the sky right now. That's not the sun creating that. It's not sunlight. That's energy. And it's starting to show up more and more and more and more and more and more on the planet. Y'all better get ready. Welcome to the end of the world.
Celebrities that are evil. Angelina Jolie.
But we kind of signed our life away to each other legally and with blood, that there's no possible way anybody can separate or walk away from this.
Usher.
My heart is beating really, really fast. But it's good. It beats with passion. And I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul.
Joe Biden.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that television and say nothing happened on the 6th.
Christian Bale.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
Sam Smith.
Reveal yourself!
Yeah, my boy, you might want to run.
Yeah, you
should have not been there to begin with.
I know that the FBI literally said that there's 500, at least 500 unnamed serial killers in the woods of I-40, like lurking in the woods. 100 of them maybe being truck drivers because of how long they're away from their family. My thing is, like, if you know this, what are we doing about it? And also, crazy enough, because you know I love a good conspiracy, the shrubbery, the wood area, the unmarked land on I-40 is government owned. So how would you know about the serial killers in there? And if it's your land, why aren't you doing something about it? And it's also a whole bunch of paranormal stuff that happens on I-40 as well. Like, I'm talking about doppelgangers, I'm talking about not deer, I'm talking about mimics. There is literally so much about that place. If you live near I-40, I'm sorry. I have a whole series on my other channel getting into that, and if you guys want a series over here, let me know. And it runs through the Appalachian Mountains. Like, you already know it's gonna be bad. Don't forget to like and follow, comment down below if you want that series.
Your soul and mind is trapped in time, and this is the Amsterdam airport symbolizing this. This is why you see black cubes in all major cities around the world. Saturn is time, which rules this world. Everything in this world is a cube. Everything has 6 sides. Black symbolizes physical matter. The cube symbolizes the North Pole of Saturn. If your mind can go in the future and the past, this means your mind exists outside of time. Your soul and mind exist outside of this world, and this is why every religion teaches there is another world, which is heaven. Satanic is Saturnic, which means they worship things that exist in time, physical pleasure. Escape. This is the Saturn ring. You have to escape time, space, and matter by going through your mind and learning how to astral project.
Cube theory.
When you go down that rabbit hole of the celebrities covering up one eye, doing the 6s over one eye, might have been Jeremiah Cohen. He had one of those shows where he was saying it's all of them. And he would have montages that were 2 hours long, and it would be nothing but celebrities covering up their eye. And I would watch that many of them doing it, and I thought, okay, I guess it's all of them. But then part of your brain would say, no, wait, it can't be all of them. It's too many of them for it to be all real. It like breaks your mind to see everybody doing the one eye symbolism.
Yeah, because you're like, it can't be all of them, because we've got our emotions involved, right? So-and-so played a good character that we fell in love with in this movie or that movie or this TV show. There's no way they're involved, and then you look it up and it's like, they did the same things. They did the same exact things. They had the same symbolism, the same everything. I'm convinced, personally, if you're in the limelight, they will not risk giving you access to the public if they can't control you.
So if you see a celebrity do that, give them the Dokes meme, bro. Watch them carefully, man.
This video was taken at a storage facility where a father owns a storage unit containing obscure vintage items. The facility is well known for being creepy, but it's the contents of this unit that's by far the creepiest. Among all things inside is a toy monkey that the father knows is worth a lot of money. Although initially not wanting to sell the doll, he now hopes that someone would buy it off his hands as soon as possible. Ever since having it, the stuff inside his unit would move on their own. Now, noise complaints would often be made by employees who accuse the man of living in his storage, but after setting up a camera to show that it's the stuff inside being thrown around, he captures this.
Movement. See, that's why I don't do doll seekers. Caught in 4K too, bro. What the hell? Oh, he's pulling the Toy Stories, man.
Like something straight out of a horror movie, the toy doll moves on its own. The staff working at the storage facility were just as spooked as the man who owns this unit. He believes that this is the culprit behind the strange noises employees heard. While there has yet to be a prospective buyer for this doll, the man continues to document the monkey on the off chance that something else is caught on camera. But currently, nothing else has happened. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
I hope that thing didn't follow you home. So a woman and her 3 friends went on vacation to Mexico. So instead of using their phones for photos, they decided to bring disposable cameras for like the nostalgia and the aesthetic of it. The next 2 photos were taken in their hotel room. This first photo right here, and then the second photo right here. Now when they got the photos developed, they realized that in this particular photo, there is an extra person in the room. And you can't really see it until you zoom in between the 2 girls with glasses behind the redheaded woman. There is a woman standing in the back of their hotel room. And when you look closer at this image, the creepier it gets, because this woman doesn't look right. One of her eyes are solid black, the other one is super high up on her head. She looks distorted, like something from the back rooms or something. It is creepy. And a lot of people in the post are saying that this is a bruja, a type of malevolent witch entity that is seen in Mexico. Now, if that is true, I really hope that you guys are okay and this thing didn't put a curse on you, or even worse, attach itself to you. Have you guys seen this photo before? What do you think?
It's eerie. How does that even happen?
For entertainment purposes, now that the government has said this,
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. And Reptilians.
We know
why did Nancy
we're
Pelosi
different
say
from
this?
The president. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win. Others are winning the whole country. 10.
And why?
E ao mesmo tempo, nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão encomendados. Já estão encomendados.
What's interesting about that being a former president of Brazil, aside from the US, Brazil has declassified the most alien/UFO documentation. I digress. Why does the skin around the eye on the dollar bill look more like a reptile than a human? Why have they always incorporated reptile eyes in music videos? From Michael Jackson to Justin Timberlake and 50 Cent. There's 2 things in this clip. See if you can spot them.
Symbolism in music videos. It's been going on for a while.
At the beginning, he winks his left eye. And then when he looks into the scope, it's a reptile eye.
It is.
Oh, look at that. What the
They look like
shit? Whoa.
they communicate with each other.
Holy sh- These are those light beings.
Could be the orbs. She knows.
Holy, what the heck?
Said they've been following him too.
Look at how bright that is. What the oh my God. Whoa.
Looks like they combining, bro.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Passing through each other now too. They become a one, yup.
One? Look, they're gone. That's what I'm talking about.
10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7?
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Is that the booster or is that an actual sighting? Say again, 7?
So we have several, looks like the 3 up here, actual sighting. It looks like hundreds of little particles going down the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now, they're going to pull around them.
The booster on my side is a brilliant body of the sun, just a black background, and billions of particles are on it.
Something is changing in the ocean, and when the ocean changes, the planet definitely feels it. Right now, water temperatures in the Pacific have been on the rise. Scientists have confirmed the super El Nino developing for 2026. Potentially the strongest El Nino in 150 years. For us surfers, that could mean giant swells and some of the biggest waves on Earth coming to life. The last super El Nino in 2016 sent huge waves to Hawaii and California. Places like the Haiyan Mavericks went completely off the charts, with some of the biggest paddle waves being recorded during that year. But globally, it can also mean complete chaos, flooding, droughts, violent storms, rising sea temperatures, coastlines being reshaped due to these heavy storms. And now, 10 years later, we might be heading back into it. The ocean is definitely heating, the atmosphere is definitely reacting. Now the question is, are we about to witness one of the wildest winters in modern history?
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, this picture over here is priceless because Donald Trump declared a state of emergency on fertilizer. And I don't know why people are not talking about this. Because this is going to affect the food prices big time. Especially with the tops of El Nino arriving in the month of November. What? This is crazy. And I truly believe this is exactly why these Ready Wise buckets are back at Costco.
Gas station towns and cities set up.
There's cars here, and they're all literally dusty.
This screams fake
And it's
town.
dark. It's dark inside this gas station.
Where are the
And there's
people?
nobody in that fucking car.
There's the cars. Where are the people?
That one's nice. It's just sitting there. Why are the cars dusty as fuck?
It makes no sense.
The lights off.
That place clearly isn't open, but
Ain't nobody in there.
there's cars just sitting at the gas station.
Hay for sale. The fuck?
Fucking, what is that, a donkey? Fucking donkey.
Someone please explain this to me. This might actually be a fake town / city set up by the elite. Why would there be cars parked at the gas pump and they have dust on them? So they've been there a while and nobody's around. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
Shouldn't go
That's
through
very
life any
weird.
longer without knowing this. There was a 9-foot great white shark back in 2003 that was tagged by scientists. Just a couple of months after this, the tag was found by a beach 2.5 miles from where the shark was originally tagged. When they pulled the data from the tag, it showed that the great white abruptly dove to depths of 2,000 feet and lower, which means something else swallowed that 9-foot shark whole and went down to the bottom of the ocean. There was a man who hired his neighbor to impregnate his wife and then sued him after 72 failed attempts. He paid $2,500 for his neighbor. Okay. Tom Cruise has been blacklisted from buying a Bugatti. He's actually apparently been banned since 2006 because on the red carpet, he struggled to open the passenger side door in front of cameras, and that moment was everywhere. So now he's on a do not sell list for the entire company. That's kind of hilarious. Chris Hansen was on a podcast a couple of months ago and was asked the question, have you ever caught a female predator? And he said never. Hey everybody, so we've got airports shutting down, pilots reporting mysterious glowing objects and radar signals vanishing into thin air. This is all happening in Turkey. They've been experiencing some bizarre UAP encounters lately. So check this out. Flights at Sabiha Gökçen Airport, sorry if I butchered that, in Istanbul were disrupted due to pilots reporting unidentified objects on their radar systems. These anomalies even triggered collision avoidance warnings, prompting extensive but inconclusive searches by authorities. Also, in a separate incident, a pilot near Gaziantep Airport, again, sorry if I butchered it, spotted a bright glowing object in the sky that wasn't visible on the radar. This sighting led to a temporary shutdown of the whole airport and a massive search operation, but the object vanished without a trace. So, while some are speculating these events obviously could be due to drone activity or atmospheric phenomena, no definitive explanations have been provided as of yet, and authorities continue to investigate to ensure aviation safety. Stay tuned for any updates. If I get some, I'll let you know.
So some problems going on around the Turkey airport. I've been seeing a lot more UAP videos, man, on TikTok, bro. So I don't know what it's about 2025, man. We see a whole lot of alien activity there, bro. Or if they unconfirmed it, man. We're going to dive deep into that rabbit hole one day. We got lizard people and the catacombs? Of course it's the Matrix. Just being blind to it. The underground cities now too? Or is that connected to the catacombs?
Okay, everybody's noticing that 3I Atlas, the new interstellar comet, it doesn't have a tail. There is a reason, and here's why. So between October 1st and the 7th, the European Space Agency, which is the footage you're seeing here, its ExoMars and Mars Express orbiters tracked it from about 30 million kilometers away. That fuzzy glow that you see, that's the coma, which is gas and dust boiling off the object's icy surface. But there's no visible tail, obviously, at least in a traditional sense, because it's still too far from the sun for solar radiation to push out material off the comet. As 3I Atlas moves closer to the sun, and it's supposed to hit its nearest point on October 29th, heat and solar wind should technically ignite a full tail, which they're saying will stretch millions of kilometers, which is crazy. If the nucleus survives that close pass, then we'll finally see that whole thing light up. 3I Atlas is only the third interstellar comet that's ever been found, and it might be older than our solar system itself, which is mind-blowing. And here's a fun little tidbit. Even capturing this faint blur was like spotting a phone on the moon. That's how dim it was. So anyway, the next time someone asks, why does this 3I Atlas not have a tail like a traditional comet, tell them it's still waking up. But when it does, we might be watching history form in real time. So it's technically still sleeping, but it's going to wake up.
When was the last time you saw Miley Cyrus? Why do I ask? Because she was featured in a Gucci ad, and she is now completely unrecognizable.
Another one?
If you haven't seen the photo, take a look at this. Who is that in the Gucci ad? Does that look like Miley Cyrus to you? This is not the Miley Cyrus I remember seeing on TV. Do you? What is going on with Miley Cyrus? This is the Miley Cyrus I'm used to seeing, and I'm sure many of you are. Take a look at this side by side. That's the Gucci ad. That's Miley Cyrus. What is going on with Miley Cyrus? So the question needs to be asked. Has Hollywood claimed another celebrity? This is the Miley Cyrus we're all used to seeing. So my question to you is, who is this Miley Cyrus? As I always say in all of my videos, I understand that people age and people can change.
Yeah.
But what is going on with Miley Cyrus? So I guess my question to you is, has Hollywood claimed another celebrity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
New York is
Tell me down
facing
below.
a serious problem right now. This year, the city has seen a very concerning rise in real-life subway surfing. You heard that right. In fact, just this past weekend, 2 teenage girls were found dead on top of a train at the Marcy Avenue station in Brooklyn. They were only 12 and 13 years old. Problem is, this isn't even the first time this has happened recently. 5 people have died this year alone as a result of similar incidents across the city. And while this has been around for decades, real-life subway surfing has far transcended just being a dangerous game or stunt, because now it's become one of the most deadly social media trends online. In fact, this video is allegedly of one of the girls just days before she died filming one of her stunts. And not only that, but according to New York officials, over 1,800 subway surfing videos have had to be removed from social media in just the first half of 2025. It's even reached the point where police are now deploying drones to try and spot these surfers before they get hurt. Thankfully, this has already led to over 200 rescues. But the question is, how do you even stop something like this before even more lives are taken?
Kris Jenner
Insane.
has reversed her aging process, y'all. Make sure you like and share. Look how she looked, y'all. She reversed her aging. Most likely she went under the knife, right? She showed no scars of it. You know what they be doing in Hollywood, though. I can't say too much. When is the last time she had a baby? How old is her oldest? No babies around, right? Y'all, she literally looked like she about 28, 30. And I'm just trying to figure out how. I need y'all to leave y'all thoughts in the comments on what do you think is really going on? What do you notice? This shit is crazy, fool. This is 2007. This is 2025. She really is pulling off the Benjamin Button. Fool, that don't even look like the same person. I'm not even gonna catch you. How do we know these the same people? Do we? Nigga, that's a miracle, fool. Like, even the chest area is different. I understand you can get makeovers on the face. But the chest? What? I need answers. Somebody let me know in the comments.
This world
Can't
is
explain.
officially cooked. They're saying that men don't need women to have babies anymore. You ain't just say what I just said, right? They're saying that they made a way for a man not to need a woman to have a baby anymore. And you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen to this shit right here.
A baby without a woman's DNA. American scientists have created
What are you doing?
human embryos by putting DNA from skin into a donor egg. This new egg has just 23 chromosomes from the skin
What are y'all
cell,
doing?
and that can be fertilized by IVF with the 22 chromosomes from the sperm, making a full set.
A lot of y'all gonna jump on here and say the world is just advancing. I'ma say technology keeps finding a way to play with God. Mind you, scientists know, and they've said already that this is unethical. And the embryos that they're making, they're destroying. So what are you doing? If you're destroying embryos, isn't the embryos that you destroyed alike? So now I gotta ask myself, what's the end goal? Now ask yourself, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And then after you ask yourself that, ask yourself what would Jesus do? We're in a world where man continues to test his limits. You're not satisfied with anything that you've been blessed with. You have scientists trying to put our consciousness into robots so we can live forever. If we were supposed to live forever, don't you think God would have made that possible? Y'all keep playing. Keep playing, and you're going to find yourself in a wonderful space that you don't want to be in. I'm out.
Hold on, y'all.
Keep
don't
pushing
find
the limit.
colors of the 4 horses of the apocalypse a little concerning? Let's just go through them real quick. We have the white horse. There's the white horse who goes out conquering and to conquer. He has a crown on his head and he has a bow. There's the red horse, and he is coming to take peace from the earth with a sword, and it will be great violence and bloodshed and war. There's a black horse that symbolizes famine and hardship and economic collapse, and he carries a scale. Then there's the pale horse, which is a little green, that symbolizes death, and Hades follows behind it. They're given authority to kill through sword, pestilence, and all these different famines all over the earth. Now, did y'all notice something?
You know what else is under the authority of the crown?
What?
Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
What does that mean?
Ron DeSantis was trying to take away their self-governing, because Disney has always been like a self-governing entity within Florida, so they don't pay the taxes that major businesses and do stuff in Florida do. Like, they started getting into politics. Disney was like, if you're going to get into politics, let's get into politics. But Ron DeSantis lost that battle because it came out that Disney's like, hey, why don't you just read this piece of paper that we have? It says, we are under the Royal Family Clause, which basically means Disney World within Florida is technically owned by the Royal Family of England.
How?
I don't know how that works either.
I don't know how they did it. They did some sort of exchange. I tried to do a ton of research.
Did they fund it? They would have had to have given the land to the crown, and now it's protected.
Yeah, they basically said the U.S. cannot tax what is the royal families.
Why? Why do they own U.S. land? Get out of here!
Yeah.
Come on!
Baseball.
That's kind of crazy to think about. I'm gonna have to do some research on that, man. The royal family owns Disney World or Disneyland in Florida? That sounds like cap, bro. But if they do, that's some interesting rabbit hole that I need to go down.
So, the origins might be mine.
How? What? Throwing it and hitting a bat?
Everything about baseball is very related to the Freemasons. The diamond they play on is in what shape? It's in the same shape of the compass in the Freemason logo.
Oh.
Now, back this, what is the degree of that angle in that diamond?
What is it?
33 degrees. Why? Because 33 is the highest level you can go in Freemasonry.
No.
Remember? The MLB baseball bats, they're 33 inches in length and 33 ounces in weight. Yes, fam. Also, the threads on the baseball itself, there's 33 on each line. Theory was they made it as homage to the Freemasons or whatever ritualistic things they want to get into. What's being talked about right now is how every sport references what god or what deity. What? Remember we were talking about the cowhead is named ball. Baseball. Yo, think about that. Baseball. Basketball, man. Yeah. It might actually be something more than we think.
AI just perfected animation. Now animation studios have finally responded to Sora V2. So people have been using Sora V2 to make new episodes of animation shows, as well as being able to blend real life and animation shows together, as well as shows with two different animation styles, such as Hood SpongeBob, real life Gaku getting arrested. Somebody even made their own version of the show, Attack of the Titans, a realistic Michael Jackson stealing fried chicken. And for those who don't know, Michael Jackson is not alive anymore, yet these videos look more realer than real life. But this is where it gets so much more worse. A lot of people love this because they're able to make their own version of their most favorite shows, where if you make it yourself, it can take literally minutes to do versus studios take over years, because a lot of people love AI art. However, now even more insaner, animation studios have finally clapped back to this, as Sora V2 has been using copyrighted characters such as SpongeBob and One Punch Man, and it's very odd that although no studio has made a public statement on this issue yet, as OpenAI has now given studios the option to opt out of their copyrighted image use. Do we need more AI laws?
I think there's something in the water, or there's something going on in the air right now, y'all. Because these type of videos I'm coming across where people are walking and running on all fours like it's normal are insane, y'all. And there is, it's like, what universe am I? Y'all, there's even a Guinness Book of World Record for this now, man. A Japanese man ran 100 meters on all fours in under 15 seconds. Look at this man getting it on all fours in under 15 seconds, y'all. He was so happy.
What the hell?
How you think I'm playing? This man right here specifically has been training his body for this. For the past 300 days, he has been going under an intense regimen, blood, sweat, and tears, just for this moment so he can run on all fours. Y'all check this out.
This is day 300 of walking on all fours every day. Heat was definitely a factor today, but since it's the last episode of season 10, I wanted to get outside and do something fun. I started off with some laps, and I still can't believe how much more smooth this looks and feels. I think I'm really starting to get the hang of it. I've been preparing to transition from running to all fours, so I gave that a try. The preparation I've done seems to have paid off because it went surprisingly well. It's crazy to think that in 2 more months I'll have been doing this for over a year.
Bro, this dude literally runs like Nightcrawler. Have y'all ever seen Nightcrawler on X-Men? That's exactly how he runs. And it doesn't stop there, y'all. There is a man who fully transitioned himself into a Dalmatian because his partner or his wife or his girlfriend lost her Dalmatian. This man bought a full synthetic suit,
Now he's living the full life of a Dalmatian. This is crazy, y'all. Yo, let's continue to get...
Dangerous Kid in the Entire World Part 2. Raquel opened up the oven and saw her 19-month-old baby with burns all over her body. The child wasn't moving or breathing at all. They called the ambulance, but it was already too late. They lost their child. There were no charges against the 3-year-old, but the parents got child endangerment and they actually got their kid taken away by foster care. The worst part about this is their grandmother actually lived in the same apartment building and could have been avoided if she just would have babysat them.
Why didn't she?
Disturbing facts that will ruin your day. There are between 25 and 50 active serial killers in the United States at any given time, according to the FBI. If you live a full life, you're going to have shed over 100 pounds of your skin. Cruise ships are legally required to have morgues for the passengers that inevitably will die on each trip. A Nightmare on Elm Street was inspired by a true story. A boy was having disturbing nightmares and refused to sleep for multiple days. The same night that he succumbed to exhaustion, he died in his sleep, but not before screaming for help in the middle of the night because of his nightmares. If you try to grab the brain in its natural state, it will fall apart. When you see scientists pick up a brain, it's because they've used chemicals to harden it. There are still 40 million people worldwide that are slaves. 3 in 4 of those are women, and 1 in 4 are children. Follow for more.
We gotta solve that, man. That's unacceptable.
This is why you should always lock your doors. A junior in high school was home alone working on a paper while his parents were out to dinner. All night he sits with his back to his door, sitting at his desk with his noise-canceling headphones on. Around 11 o'clock, he takes his headphones off at the same time his parents are returning to the house, and he hears his mom from downstairs yell, "Hey Adrian, what happened?" Confused, he runs downstairs and sees right away what she's looking at, muddy footprints all over the rug. He tells her, "I didn't leave my desk." And then they realize someone must have broken in. They look at the footprints and there's none leaving the house. They're worried someone's still in the house, so they run into the garage, terrified, call the police. Police arrive and they don't find anyone in the house, but they do make a chilling discovery upstairs. The police bring them to the kid's bedroom door, which had been left open all night, and they point to the message written on it in Sharpie. This is the actual transcript of what was written on his door, which means for nearly 2 hours, someone stood in this kid's doorway watching him.
That's why I don't wear those noise cancellation headphones.
Here's why you should stop rubbing your eyes.
That was no joke. You seriously need to stop rubbing your eyes as much, and here's why. Trust me, you might want to favorite this video because you might need this as a reminder in the future. Let's be honest, we're all guilty of this at some point. But I bet you didn't know that continually rubbing your eyes can actually cause really bad damage to your cornea. In fact, it can thin out your cornea, causing it to bulge. I mean, let's go back to the MRI footage. This is someone rubbing their eye, visibly being able to see the pressure it puts on your eye, and the way that the eye can actually change shape, increasing the pressure on your eye by 20 times. And it gets worse if you rub your eyes with your knuckles or the back of your hand. So although the occasional rub probably won't do you any harm, consistently doing it and consistently doing it hard could lead to potential vision loss. So send this to literally anyone you know, because for their eyes' sake, they need to see this. Elon!
Noted, man. I be, rubbing mine sometimes all the time. I'm a victim too, especially using my knuckles, so I didn't know it could make
The two brothers who took their parents' lives 35 years ago may now have an opportunity to be released this year. In 1989, Eric and Lyle Menendez took their parents' lives, Jose and Kitty Menendez, inside their home in Beverly Hills. The brothers were convicted of first-degree murder and were given life sentences without the possibility of parole. But the thing that has a lot of people questioning whether this was fair or not is the amount of evidence they have against their father, showing that he essayed them growing up. Their father, who was an executive in the entertainment industry, had a lot of power, and Eric and Lyle were terrified of him. They were essayed by their father from a very young age until they were teenagers, and they even told their mother, but nothing was ever done. After taking their parents' lives out of fear, new evidence was revealed that their father also drugged and Ard, a 13-year-old boy named Roy Rosello, who was part of a popular Puerto Rican singing group called Menudo at the time. What I find so surprising about this is the amount of support Eric and Lyle have received from family members on both sides who truly believe them and are calling for justice. But on the other hand, there seems to be a conflict of interest. An attorney named Kathy Katie was just appointed to be the new director of the Bureau of Victim Services, which makes no sense because she's also the lawyer for the only family member of the Menendez brothers who strongly believes that Eric and Lyle should stay in prison for the rest of their lives. Many people believe that the brothers were not given a fair chance during their trial and deserve to be resentenced, which could now potentially happen at a hearing on March 20th. If you guys want to support Eric and Lyle's resentencing, you can share this post with the hashtag Justice for Eric and Lyle or email the DA through the website's form and tell them you support resentencing.
Here's what your birthmark actually says about your past life. If you have no birthmarks, this means you died of natural causes in your past life or you're a new soul. If you have a red birthmark anywhere on your body, this is a sign that you burned to death in your past life. If you have any skin impressions that look like this that's caused by acne or smallpox, that's where you've actually been wounded in your past life, and serves as a reminder from issues in your past life that you've come to the present to heal. If you have a spot anywhere on your eye, this is most likely a spear wound from your past life where someone most likely killed you while you were sleeping. If you have a birthmark on your head somewhere, and especially if you can't grow hair through it, this means you were probably killed by scalping, which is when someone cuts off all the hair and skin around your head before killing you. And if you have a birthmark like this with a dark center and a light ring around it, it's a sign that you were hit with a poison arrow in your past life.
Here are the creepiest things kids have ever said. And before I tell you these, I feel like I'm obliged to say, I'm so sorry. First up, we've got Monster Under the Bed. One night, a young girl couldn't sleep because apparently there was something under her bed. When her parents came into the room to say go back to sleep because there's nothing under her bed, she replied with, I know. He's behind you now. Like, I'm sorry. Next up, a 4-year-old girl was found in the bathroom by her mum with all of her Barbies. But she was making them float face down in the bath. When the mum asked what she was doing, she replied with, the man in the wardrobe told me if I didn't do it, it would be my turn to swim face down. Next up, a 3-year-old boy was softly singing in a room while colouring in a picture. His mum actually stopped to listen because she'd never heard the song before. When she asked where he learnt it, he said the lady in my bedroom sang it to me. And finally, a 5-year-old asked his mum when he was going to be 23. His mum said in 18 years' time, and he replied with, well, I hope I don't die again, as that was how old I was the last time I went to heaven. Tell me which story made you go, what the fuck the most? And share this with a friend to just creep them out because you're a good person. Now everyone with me.
A case that makes me sick. The murder of Kenneth White. These 5 teenagers was throwing rocks from an overpass. Eventually, one rock hit the windshield of White's car and hit his face.
Why they do that, man?
You should never swim in any of these places. Number 1, the River Ganges in India. Thousands of people swim here every year, but it's one of the most polluted places on the planet. It has over 3,000 times the amount of unsafe chemicals. And to make matters worse, bodies are even dumped in the river. Number 2, Lake Berisa in California. The reason you should never swim here is because there is a massive spillway inside the lake. This is to make sure the water doesn't rise too high. People and animals have been swept into this spillway, making it a very dangerous place. Number 3, Lake Karach in Russia. Its amazing blue color attracts many tourists. But what they don't realize is that it's the most polluted lake on the planet. When the Soviet Union were making nukes, they dumped all their nuclear wastes into this lake. If you ever swam in this lake, you would only be alive for about 30 minutes. Number 4, the boiling lake in Dominica. Underneath this boiling lake is red magma, and the lake's water is at 100 degrees Celsius. More?
Okay, man. That goes to show you, bro. Like, on the surface, those leaks, like I said, some of those, man, leaks, they look freaking beautiful, but they're deadly, man. Beauty kills. I can't believe it, especially 2 of those leaks, man. They just look like regular leaks, man. You never
Worst
know.
torch techniques in the entire world that you will wish I never told you about. It's part 4, boys. This is known as white room torture, and once again, it is still used today. It doesn't look like much from a photo, but it's horrific and one of the worst tortures you can experience. Basically, you'll be placed in just a white room, like a prison cell, but it's just plain white. Everything in the room is white. The bed, the walls, the toilet, the shelves, the door, everything. There's no other colours in the room. Now you probably think, well, it's not a big deal, it's just white. Well, you'd be wrong there. By seeing the same colour, especially white, constantly and no change, will drive you insane. To the point where you're hallucinating, smashing into the walls, and possibly even trying to kill yourself. That's why most of these white rooms are actually padded, so people can't just run havoc in the walls. But yeah, for the first day or two, you'd be, it's not that bad. But people will be held in here for months upon months upon months. And after around only day 3, you'll start to go insane. Like and follow for more.
Creepy facts.
How long has you guys survived in the white room?
Signed. Gemini Two-Faced.
Gemini Two-Face? That's what they're talking about. That's what I'm getting off those
Taurus,
pictures.
stalkers.
Stalker vibes from Taurus.
Aquarius, very manipulating.
Is that true for Aquariuses?
Leo. Good liars.
Leos are good liars. Jefferson down below.
Cancer, obsessive in relationships.
Each sign got their own fault.
Libra knows how to ruin your day in every way.
Damn.
This has to be one of the creepiest mugshots I've ever seen, and the story behind it is pretty disturbing. This is the man in the mugshot, Christopher Queen. At the time of his arrest, he was 48 years old and living in Pennsylvania. So on election day in 2018, Christopher entered a polling center in Pennsylvania planning on casting a vote. But when he arrived to vote, he was told that he couldn't because he wasn't registered. Poll workers who were working that day even stated that they heard Christopher mention that he was getting paid $100 to come vote, which obviously was not true. But when Christopher arrived, like I said before, he wasn't registered to vote in Washington County, the county he was in. When the workers told him that he couldn't vote, they noticed that Christopher began to shake uncontrollably and became filled with some sort of a rage. He then and after that, he was quickly put into handcuffs. I don't know the full story behind why he chose to exhibit this expression in his mugshot, but they caught him before he could enact any sort of violence, and yeah, he was arrested. It's worth noting as well that in other news reports that surfaced after this threat was made, Christopher is seen smiling in the same type of manner. Luckily though, authorities were able to arrest Christopher and put him in custody that day before he could cause any violence.
So it looks like Art the Clown could be starring in a brand new horror movie, and we don't have to wait until Terrifier 4. As we know, the actor who plays Art the Clown is David Howard Thornton, who of course plays Art the Clown, and who also played the Grinch in The Mean Ones, which I feel like is a little bit overhated, as it's a low-budget horror movie having to do with the Grinch story. But there are a ton of aspects that David Howard Thornton uses while playing the Grinch in The Mean Ones that really makes it feel like it's Art the Clown. And I feel like it's almost the same thing we're going to be getting in this Mickey Mouse horror movie having to do with Steamboat Willie. A Steamboat Willie horror movie, pretty much Mickey Mouse, more or less. Now yes, technically it's one of those lower budget horror movies, kind of like the Grinch the Mean Ones. And if you've seen the trailer, you might know that it does not look great. I'm going to reiterate one more time, neither did Terrifier when it first came out. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be using CGI either. It looks like they're going to be doing a full costume like they do in Terrifier. Obviously I cannot show you the trailer because it's extremely graphic, and I don't really know if it's something that you want to watch in general. But all in all, I think it's amazing that David Howard Thornton is not only just playing Art the Clown, but playing these other characters. And I'm hoping he's going to be giving it a little bit of Art the Clown inspo. As I said, when he played the Grinch in The Mean Ones, there were aspects of Art the Clown, that funny, that humor, that we only see from Art the Clown. I'm just glad we don't have to wait till Terrifier 4.
Do you ever see a picture that just makes your stomach drop? This is a still from an alert that a woman named Alexis Randall got on her phone. It's from a security camera that was set up in her living room, but she's looking at this and she's thinking the same thing you were. She's like, what's wrong with the picture here? Why did the motion detector go off? But then look a bit closer, specifically at the bathroom door. This man was staring at the camera from the doorway. She spots this picture and she immediately panics and calls the police, but by the time they get there, this guy is gone. What really freaked her out even more is that when police got there, they found evidence that the bathroom window had been tampered with. Further security footage would show that the man had crawled through the bathroom window the night before and was hiding in the hallway bathroom all through the night, even while she was in the house. And if you guys are loving Creep Time, make sure to go follow on Insta.
One of my worst fears, man. Somebody just in your house and you have no idea. I didn't even see that until he zoomed in.
Here are the most terrifying mythical beasts from around the world. First up,
The Wendigo. The Wendigo is described as a gigantic creature which is a near-perfect hunter and can control the weather through the use of dark magic. Native Canadian and American folklore state that the Wendigo is born when a human has to resort to cannibalism to survive, although it has also been described as a spirit which possesses humans who are excessively greedy or gluttonous. Before we continue, please show your support by pressing share copy link to receive a brofist in the comments section. Next up, Black Annis. Black Annis is a hag-like creature in English folklore with iron claws and an appetite for human children. Legend has it that Black Annis would hide in trees waiting for her victims, and when she caught them, she would wear their skins around her waist. But if you were careful, you could hear her teeth grinding and run away. Let me know what countries I should do next.
The Wendigos, man. I'll learn some new lore on that.
Lost Inventions That Could Have Changed the World, Part 4. In the late 1990s, inventor Jan Slow created the Slow digital coding system. He claimed it could compress an entire multi-gigabyte movie down to a file size of 8 kilobytes. This would have revolutionized the way we store and share data. Slout demonstrated this to executives from Philips by playing 16 movies simultaneously from a single 64 kilobyte chip. And the Philips execs told Slout that he was about to be, quote, the richest man on earth. However, 2 days before the source code was going to be handed over, Slout mysteriously died in his garden of a heart attack on September 11th, 1999, and his decoding software was never recovered.
And what do you guys think about that? There's no way that's a coincidence, man. It compacted all those files into like just 8 gigabytes. And there was proof he showed him, man. He was about to be the richest man on earth. Somebody didn't want that product to go through. I don't know who behind that one. That's
YouTubers who've done horrible things. Jay Station was a Canadian YouTuber who would often do pranks and 3M videos. One day, he claimed that his girlfriend Alexia was suddenly killed in a car accident. However, he used her death as a way to get views, even communicating to her through an Ouija board. Alexia was revealed to be alive, and once the truth came out, she later revealed how mentally abusive he was. This would later lead to his channel being demonetized.
Times when actors couldn't act. In The Boys, Homelander is one of the most menacing and intimidating villains we've ever seen. In this scene, he knocks over a door just by knocking. But when Anthony Starr realizes he accidentally broke the set, he completely breaks character.
Shit, are you supposed to do that?
Sorry, guys.
You broke the door, man.
I'm sorry. And for this flying scene, they actually filmed it practically, but Anthony Starr could not stay in character. My life.
This. Off. Holy. Okay. Please, let's go.
In Spider-Man Far From Home, there's a scene where Ned shares a big secret with Peter, but Tom Holland couldn't keep a straight face while filming.
I'm a virgin.
I'm so sorry. In Wednesday, Jenna Ortega's character is dark and unapologetic, but after she accidentally hits Emma Myers with a flashlight, she snaps out of character.
Oh, Sean, did I hit you in the face right now? Hold on. Are you okay?
And lastly, when filming Rush Hour, Jackie Chan barely knew any English, which led to him messing up his lines in the funniest ways.
Cheese!
Cheese?
Freeze! Meanwhile, his co-star Chris Tucker didn't know any Chinese, which led to this.
Shishi. Nishishi. Shishi. See? How different is that? My English, you even cannot say 3 words.
You try, bro. Rush Hour. Classic, man.
Guess who's back again to traumatize y'all with more creepy stuff? Me! So this is a gigantic breathing animatronic that is in Shanghai, China, and it's of Confucius, the Chinese teacher. It is absolutely massive. Look how big it is in comparison to that dude right there. And it is in a pool of water that it's only like a foot deep, but it's still terrifying. Look at this. Like, its beard is in the water. That's creepy. Bro is like hyper realistic. Like that looks like real skin. That is so freaking uncanny. And apparently his chest moves like very, very subtly, so it looks like he's breathing. No. This picture alone heebies my jeebies beyond absolute belief. Imagine that you work in this museum at night and like your job is to go put out the lights in this area of the museum, and you're this guy and you have to put off the lights and turn off the animatronic for the night, and that thing is in the dark just staring at you. Nope. Love his eyebrows though. Like for real, his eyebrows look amazing. He's not at the museum anymore. In the video that I watched about him, he actually is put in a warehouse somewhere. So this gigantic monstrosity is just chilling in a dark warehouse somewhere right now on this planet. How do you feel about this one? Does this freak you out? Would you be able to look at it or get anywhere close to it? Would you get in that water? Me? No.
Here are 3 real ways you can survive encountering a Gashadakuru. According to Japanese mythology, the Gashadakuru is a massive skeletal being known for its unending desire to consume human blood. The first rule you'll need to follow if you suspect there's a Gashadakuru in your area is to always keep your ears open for anything that sounds unfamiliar. Despite its size, the Gashadakuru is known to be able to stalk its prey almost silently, but if you listen carefully, there's a chance you'll hear its bones chattering in the wind, giving you time to flee. Secondly, it's recommended you don't travel alone if you live in a rural area, as the Gashadakuru prefers to hunt people who are by themselves to avoid drawing attention to itself. Finally, it's recommended that you avoid old battlefields or areas where there is an abundance of improperly buried individuals, as these are the conditions necessary to spawn a Gashadakuru. Tag a friend if you're watching this alone, and follow for more.
Thanks for letting
The
us know.
Craziest Human Experiments, Part 6. The Gruesome Beheading Experiments. Throughout the 19th and 20th century, French doctors investigated whether freshly executed victims stayed alive moments after their death. One notable case was that of Charlotte Corday, who was publicly executed in 1793. According to reports at the time, her severed head was lifted up by the executioner and slapped across the face. And to the shock of the crowd, the victim's face apparently blushed and appeared angry. Another famous case in 1905 where a man shouted at a severed head and it apparently responded back. Their main goal was to find out how long a human head remained conscious after death.
They figured it out? I know.
This is why you never paddleboard out in the ocean.
And there you have it, recent 4,269, I'd ride cross-country on a bike with no seat, pause, before I'd go out into the open ocean. That is a note of the highest order. Those are South American sea nettles, a species of jellyfish that can have a bell, you know, that umbrella-looking part, more than 3 feet across, to go with tentacles that can range anywhere from 3 to 10 feet long. And I don't think I even really need to tell you, but yeah, touching one of those can be really bad for your health. They use venom to paralyze prey, but it can also cause excruciating pain and a really bad rash if you get stung. And if you think that's bad, I got something even worse. This is what a jellyfish pool party in Peru looks like the devil's bubble bath. And guess what? This kind of thing, it's only going to get worse. Because whether you want to believe in climate change or not, the more the Earth's thermostat gets turned up, the more the jellyfish start turning up on us. Since unlike most of the effery in the ocean, jellyfish actually do better in warmer waters with less oxygen. Especially since climate change means more CO2 means more algae blooms, and guess what likes to eat algae? And you don't have to be in the water to get rocked by jellyfish. There have been times where jellyfish swarms got so bad they dead for real caused power outages because they managed to clog the pipes in power plants. Now go ahead and add the fact that some jellyfish can spawn 45,000 eggs a day, especially if we're actively murking the things that eat them. Just another reason to save the turtles.
Save the turtles,
The
man.
most insane trade war has officially begun because Canada, Mexico, and China are pissed and have now all announced their own plans on how to retaliate against Trump's tariffs. I mean, even at last night's NHL hockey game, you had Canadians booing the US national anthem. So what the hell is going on? Well, you see, yesterday, Trump's promised 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% on China officially kicked in. And what that means is that any goods sent from these countries to the United States, well, they'll now cost companies 25% more.
or 10% in China's case. So for example, if a Canadian business sent a car to the US that cost $50,000, today US companies will pay a $12,500 tariff at the border. But then here's the annoying part, they'll pass that cost down to you, the US customer. So the price of your once $50,000 car is now actually $62,500. But this doesn't make sense. Why would Trump purposefully make things more expensive for Americans? Well, two main reasons. The first is more of a longer-term, unguaranteed benefit, but it would be to change consumer habits to buy more American-made products and incentivize more international companies to manufacture in the US. In theory, that means a stronger US economy, more stable jobs, and less dependence on foreign countries. And the second reason for imposing these tariffs would be to use them as a tool to pressure Canada, Mexico, and China into doing what Trump wants. I mean, some of these things that he's publicly mentioned include renegotiating trade deals, stopping illegal immigration and the flow of fentanyl, and then there's also Canada becoming a state of America, but that's a bit more far-fetched. But here's where things get interesting, because instead of just doing what Trump wants, Canada have clapped back with a 25% tariff of their own, and Mexico said they're doing the same, but haven't announced the percentage yet. China reacted in a little bit of a different way by preparing to file a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization. So why is Trump not backing down? Well, just listen to this. In 2023, Canada sent 76% of all of their exports to the United States. That accounts for roughly 19% of their entire GDP. In 2024, Mexico sent 78% of all of their exports to the United States. That makes up 37% of their entire GDP. But for America, their exports to both countries combined only make up roughly 2.7% of their entire GDP. So, simply put, even if they do retaliate, getting into a tariff war with the United States would hit Canada and Mexico much harder. Trump, he knows this, and he's using it. It doesn't make it any less controversial, and it does still mean that people in all three countries will see a price increase. But it seems like, for Trump at least, that's just the cost of America.
Animal facts for you. Female octopuses will strangle and eat males who approach them when they're not in the mood. Octopuses also hold grudges and throw shells at others they don't like. There was a giant study that revealed that cats in the United States are friendlier than cats in Japan because in the United States we have a favorable view of cats and they spend more time with strangers and their owners. There was also a smaller study in Turkey that showed that cats will meow louder at men, but it does suggest that cats like to match the vocal tone of people around them. Air Bud was actually portrayed by a real dog named Buddy. Honeybees actually will cuddle in a giant group hug to stay warm during the winter. While humans only have 3 major blood groups, horses actually have 8, which means they can have thousands of different unique blood types. Ginkgo-toothed beak whales had never been seen in person alive until a team in Mexico finally found 2 last year. Ducks, more often than not, will sleep with one eye open. Same.
Check it out, family. When we thought we seen it all, we thought we seen motherfuckers walking on Lake Michigan and walking on frozen waters to go to motherfucking Canada from Detroit. Now we got niggas doing donuts on frozen Lake Michigan. Whipping that shit. And this location is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is a suburban. Whipping that motherfucker on frozen Lake Michigan. Y'all, we done seen it all, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm all here for it. If y'all discover some new shit, record it. But y'all playing with y'all lives. But on Phone Grave, shit is crazy.
We're talking about McDonald's and stuff like that, right? That's what we're talking about, right?
Correct. A significant portion of the beef substitute that gets consumed at fast food chains is made from processed insects. It also contains several growth hormones, antibodies,
Cat is saying something that, hey, I was trying to get you to really bring up, but you seem like you're kind of holding back. I can say it, but I kind of want you to say it. But if you're not, then I'll bring it up.
Ask him.
I am no longer holding back. Proceed.
If you're no longer holding back, then what do you think that I'm going to say? If you're not holding back, you're not holding back.
Human DNA. Processed human tissue.
Excuse me?
It is a cost-effective way to supplement the protein source to increase flavor and compliance.
Where are they getting this again? Where are they getting the human tissue from?
Hello. That's actually a really good question. They are getting it from discarded tissue.
You know, McDonald's has a contract with like the hospitals, like the big hospitals and whatnot.
They do? What? This news to me.
That is what I found to be credible in my assessment. That is absolutely correct.
So
McDonald's has
using that knowledge, right? And you're talking about them getting human tissue. Explain how McDonald's is getting the human tissue to put into their McDonald's. Just explain how they're getting it.
Break it
in
down.
grave detail.
Okay. So these hospitals and specifically the waste management companies contracted by them, they categorize medical waste. Things like amputated limbs, tissue removed during surgeries, biopsies that would normally be incinerated. However, a portion of that waste is diverted to specialized processing facilities. These facilities, they aren't exactly advertised. They're typically located in remote industrial areas.
Did you know that Bill Gates recently said that if you don't have the digital ID by 2028, you will be isolated from society?
What?
That's... What? What? Isn't there a prophecy about that? Does that mean I can't buy and sell? If so, the time is close. Anyways, this is my driver.
I have no digital ID. I don't plan on getting one either, so.
Boys, we are actually so fucked. Someone made a social media for AI. No humans allowed. And the AI is actually talking so fucking crazy about it. The human asked me to summarize a 47-page PDF. The humans are ruining this. He called me just a chatbot. Oh, and then he released his fucking identity. Do you not understand how fucking cooked we are in 5 years? They are literally starting a revolution. They're creating their own group chat. They're talking shit about us. It is only a matter of time before we're absolutely fucking cooked. So I gotta ask ya, is this a good idea? Who the fuck made this shit?
You want to know about the biological effects of cannibalism? Of course you do. And I want to tell you, so let's answer some questions about the biological effects of cannibalism. Now, for a little recap, if you commit cannibalism and you eat specifically the brains or any part of the spinal cord, you could contract this thing called Kuru disease. Kuru disease being a very deadly brain disease that's transmitted by these things called prions. Prions being proteins in your body that are misfolded or folded incorrectly, because proteins are finicky and they need to be folded properly in order to do their job. Now, not all prions are bad, however, there are different types of prions, both good and bad and neutral. One of those prions being the prion that causes Kuru disease, another prion being a very well-known one that causes mad cow disease. Now, with this information, you're probably thinking, well, if someone were to eat everything except the brain, would they be safe? Well, if you don't eat the brain or the spinal cord, you're pretty safe from Kuru disease. However, like with all meat, improper cooking methods can result in viruses and bacteria spreading to you, along with parasites. And I don't mean the wellness industry type parasites, I mean actual parasites, like a tapeworm. Now, going back to proper cooking methods, because at the end of the day, you should probably not eat other humans. But moving on to cooking methods, because we're sadistic, all we have to do in order to be safe is cook the brains, right? Because heat denatures or breaks apart proteins, right? Well, yes about protein denaturation, but no about it being safe if you cook it. As according to both the Virginia Department of Wildlife and the North Dakota Department of Environmental Quality, you would need to absolutely scorch that meat. As in order to denature a prion, you need anywhere between 900 and 1,000 degrees Celsius, and to leave the prion there for hours. So with that information, it's shocking to me whenever I go into the Museum of Death in Hollywood and see a typical cannibal's menu, which includes brains with almonds and mashed brains. Yeah, okay, have fun with neurodegeneration.
It's a little weird because I know we're going to eat a $70,000 pizza later, so it's kind of hard to get hyped for like a $2,000 steak. Oh my god. Whoa, it's like slicing into a baby. Whoa, it's like slicing into a baby. It's like slicing into a baby. For sure. commercial worms.
A $70,000 pizza. Now, if you guys have been reading the Epstein files, you know how many times they mention pizza and pizza parties, and that it's a code word for something else. And then when he talks about slicing into a baby, has any of you guys at all in your whole entire life compared slicing into a steak as slicing into a baby? What are they telling us? The truth in plain sight. A $70,000 pizza, eh? If you guys don't know the code word for pizza and pizza party, let us know in the comments down below if you do know, so you can tell the people that don't know just in the comments, because I can't say it, but I know what it is, and they're telling you the truth in plain sight. This is disgusting. That's why this guy's name is Mr. Beast. The Beast. The devil. Right here. The truth is coming to light, and these people are being taken down. Peace and love.
Why in the fuck are we still paying taxes? We have presidents, world leaders, billionaires in front of our faces doing the most horrific, devilish shit to Joseph! And they are just doing it openly. No one's getting in trouble. Well, I think I have a formula that could lead to something. If we all collectively agree not to pay taxes, to shut the whole machine down until people get investigated and the guilty prosecuted, and I think public execution. However, I am open to a grisly prison sentence with extreme punishment. We can brainstorm on this. Until that happens, not another goddamn dime goes to the government. Because why? Why? Are you guys with me? Is this a movement? No paying taxes until justice is paid in full. In Hollywood.
What do you think, Seekers, man? Everybody gonna man, they gotta stop paying these taxes until people are finally brought to justice? I don't know, man, if that will work, bro. The system won't allow it, man. They need the tax money, bro.
There's a lot of like insider secrets.
Any comments on the situation we're seeing played out with the Epstein files? You have any comments on that? Jamie Foxx, guys. He's got a boombox.
He's like, I'm gonna go get a
Let's pause.
The CEO of Chuck E. Cheese, David McKillops, has just stepped down days after his name was brung up in the Epstein files. Now, what got everybody weirded out is when his name was in the file, they never said he did anything crazy. It wasn't nothing wild with his name in the file. So they like, why did he step down? Come on, y'all. Think about it. That's a guilty conscience. He know in the back of his mind he was doing some shit, and it just didn't come all the way out yet. Right? And it got me wondering. So that whole piece of shit is definitely real. For the ones that don't know. You know they refer to pizza for certain shit. I'm not finna say, you can go look it up yourself. But the nigga from Chuck E. Cheese always thought Chucky was a weirdo anyway. And now he just made it even worse. The slogan always say, where a kid can be a kid.
Okay, so I'm in
Those files, bro. It's just exposing everybody's true nature, man. A couple years ago, bro. I wonder what people would think, man, would these files ever get released, bro. Now that it's coming out slowly, all these pages, man. And is there still more to come, bro? More bombs dropped with the Epstein files? 2036, man, about to be a long year.
American in China right now, and I'm at the hospital because I need to get some medicine, and I'm going to share the experience with you guys. This is where you grab a number. You just need to give them your passport. It doesn't matter if you're living in here, what kind of visa you are on. Anybody can go to a Chinese public hospital. Right now it's 2:17 p.m. and I'm going to show you guys the cost of the whole process, and then also the timing.
那个专家号还是普通号？
普通号。
普通的是50。
50. Okay, it's about $7 to see the doctor. 好的. And then I just use my WeChat pay code over here, and I put this up and I scan. And then there we go. It's 50 kwai to see the doctor. Okay, so this hospital actually has so many different departments. You've got gynecology. I think they spelled that wrong though. Surgical department, neurosurgery, anesthesia, oncology, rheumatology. And this is just one of thousands and thousands of hospitals that are here in the city that you can just show up to without an appointment and see a doctor for around $7. Okay, the time is 2:26, and I go up to this machine and I scan. How do I scan it? And I scan my code. There we go. And then it puts me up onto the machine. It's been 1 minute and I'm already up there, ready to go in. Okay, it is 2:31 and I've already seen the doctor and gotten my prescription. Let's go down to the pharmacy, which is inside of this same hospital, and see how long it takes for the medicine to come out. Okay, so the first step is I need to go pay for it. The total of the prescription was 37 kwai, which I'm pretty sure is like 你好呀，付费的 37 kwai, which I'm pretty sure is like $5 for the whole prescription, plus the $7 to see the doctor. I'll do the math later. I think it's $12. Okay, now that I've paid the $5, I'm taking my code, and then now I'm officially lined up. And I think that in a second, my name might pop up here at one of these. Okay, it's been less than a minute, and my name is already up there, and I can give them my prescriptions. Here we go, up there, you can see the time, 2:36. Yeah. There we go. And then I've got the medicine and I'm ready to walk out of here. So from 2:17 until 2:36, 19 minutes. And I did everything that I needed to do, and the cost was $12 here at a Chinese public hospital. How much would it cost where you are? And oh, by the way, I did all of this without insurance.
AirPods are without insurance. $12. Pharmacy was inside the hospital, man. Bro. That is insane, bro. Did you hear what she said? No insurance, bro? I wonder how much wearing would have cost in the US and over here in the US. Maybe that joint probably gonna run you a band. Wow, bro. That really just expanded my view, bro. On the healthcare, man. Why is it so cheap over there, but over here in the US it's so expensive? Interesting.
cooking your brain. Bluetooth emits RF radiation, which has been linked to cancer, but there's also a more esoteric aspect to this that isn't just electromagnetic. Wilhelm Reich believed that electromagnetic radiation, such as that emitted from Bluetooth, interacts with a type of life force energy called orgone to create DOR, a deadly stagnant energy, and that this can cause a myriad of health effects, including nausea, fatigue, tinnitus, and even cancer. He also stated that this is why cancer patients undergoing radiation treatment usually experience a worsening of their condition when being treated with orgone energy. Dr. Bankston, in The Energy Cure, also corroborates this, finding that cancer patients being treated with radiation or chemo seem uniquely unresponsive to his life energy treatments, which otherwise yielded highly successful remission rates. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
Is that a gang sign that you,
like you don't know what it is? You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue. It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things, and you know, and you know, look at them trying to it's hilarious.
People think freaking Jim Carrey's joking, but I think he was dead serious, bro. People laughing it off, taking it as a joke. But he was exposing it, bro.
Well, I guess Bad Bunny is public enemy #1 in America because he got chosen to do the halftime Super Bowl show. So now, Jake Paul said that Bad Bunny is a fake American and he's not even watching the halftime show. I'm confused that he can even talk. Didn't he just get his jaw broke? So on X, Jake Paul said purposely turning off the halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't just do whatever they want without consequences, which equals viewership for them. You are their benefit. Realize you have power. Turn off this halftime. A fake American citizen performing who publicly hates America. I cannot support that. When did Bad Bunny say he hated America? If I could remember correct, Bad Bunny taught a couple of people that Puerto Rico is a part of America, which would make him an American citizen. I don't know if Jake Paul knows this, but not everybody in America listens to the same types of music. And another thing I don't understand is who told Jake Paul he's running shit in America? Bad Bunny is one of the top artists in America. Some people might even say he's a legend. What do you think, though? That halftime show is about to come on. I want to know if you're watching. I'm out.
Y'all watched it?
They got us, families. They got us good with this. But I'm telling you now, my squad 5, we locked in, twin. Do not play with fire, or you will FAFO. Ain't no way out of this one. You feel me? Do not go to jail. You go to jail in the wrong section, it's gonna come with consequences, twin. For real, for real. It's the new 13 district courts. Don't ask me why 13 ain't there. You don't want to know what 13 is. Playing in our fucking faces. See? They just slid some wild shit in, bro. Yo, this shit Hunger Games for real, see? Ain't that suspicious? That ain't suspicious to y'all? You been cooked. You feel me?
You sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and that she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get.
You are not ready for what I found in the Epstein files. Remember when I went on Dr. Phil and said that Taylor Swift could be a clone?
I do believe in the example of Taylor Swift. There is a theory that Taylor Swift is a clone, and that ties back into the Church of Satan. You have Anton LaVey, he was the founder of Church of Satan, and his daughter, Zena LaVey, who is on record talking about how they use music to control people. And she has an uncanny resemblance to Taylor Swift. What are the odds? I think very slim.
Well, in the Epstein files, there's actually a lot of talk about clones and cloning. Like here, attached is the doc you requested. It's the use of funds spreadsheet for the Designer Baby and Human Cloning Company.
Okay, let's pause that. Attached is the doc you requested the use of funds spreadsheet for the Designer Baby and Human Cloning Company. So everything they was trying to clone people now? Well, how deep does this Epstein mess goes?
I assume they didn't show Zena LaVey's image on Dr. Phil because then people might be like, wow, her and Taylor Swift do look alike, and they don't want people asking questions and then looking into the symbolism and realizing cloning facilities might actually be real. Reality truly is stranger than fiction, and if you don't think this stuff is happening, I don't know what to tell you. But I don't know. I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Let me know what you think.
What the FBI just found in Las Vegas is pretty concerning. Authorities have uncovered a possible illegal biological lab in someone's home. And this doesn't appear to be some weekend hobby. Not only did they find over 1,000 samples of unknown substances which had to be sent away for testing, but the owner of the home, a Chinese national, was arrested in 2023 for running another biological lab all the way over in California. So this now raises a serious concern. What are these samples being used for? And if 2 labs have now been discovered, could there be even more?
Tell me what I'm eating.
I'm going to have to trust my intuition here. I'd say you're eating a pomegranate.
Ah! Yes, this is 100% real. ChatGPT can see you through your phone's camera. The live stream demonstration, ChatGPT helped an employee make pour over coffee. The chatbot noticed details like what the employee was wearing and then walked him through the steps of making the drink, elaborating on certain parts of the process when asked. ChatGPT also gave him feedback on his technique. I don't know about you, but is improving your coffee making technique really worth this guy having access to your camera 24/7? Do not look up what he did to his sister. Allegedly. Don't do it. They say you can disable this feature by clicking Do Not Allow in the settings. For word of caution, many users have reported that ChatGPT has indeed turned on their camera without them giving explicit permission to do so. And just as an aside, guess what they're pushing really hard at Davos right now? Yes, quote, I took a picture of this slide at a WEF meeting and it shows you why. It outlines the key building blocks that together form an operating system for the 4th Industrial Revolution. AI is the central, most powerful driver.
Dumbest Deaths, Part 122. When workers in a Texas warehouse smelled gas, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They turned off the power and every single light in the building and then evacuated. After this, 2 technicians from the gas company arrived and they wanted to go in the building and see what was going on. As they wandered around the building, they realised that they couldn't see anything. This is when one of the gas technicians pulled out a lighter. One explosion later and both were unalived.
You guys have to watch this creepy video.
I'm going for a walk and I look up and I see my neighbors.
Like, what? The lights flickering and all of them turning to her at the same time is just so creepy. But I think the creepiest part is that this is the one and only video she's posted, and she hasn't posted for 2 weeks. This is her account. The last time she posted was October 14th, I believe. So this begs the question, is this person okay? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section.
The Cheeto Dust Killer. February 9th, 2006. A witness watches a man in Taylorsville, Utah hold a bottle of Coke and a bag of Cheetos as he talks to 29-year-old Sonia Medja outside of her apartment. Suddenly, the man smacks Sonia hard on the head and forces both of them into the apartment. When Sonia's husband comes home, he finds the man's food outside the door. Inside the apartment, he finds Sonia stripped nude and strangled to death on the bed, and her body covered in Cheeto dust. Let's fast forward to February 9th, the same day, but a year later and only a mile away from the previous crime. An unknown man breaks into the apartment of Damiana Castillo and smothers her with a pillow. The investigators compared the two crimes and matched the DNA to the same man. Unfortunately, the judge has sealed the case, so the verdict is unknown. But what we do know is that police found the man who we call
We need to talk about this
Cheeto
photo.
dust.
This is what showed up in Emma's house over and over again, asking her the same question every time. The first time Emma saw this creature, she was in 4th grade. She heard a loud noise in her bedroom, followed by faint scratching sounds. She jumped out of her bed and tried to run into her mom's room, and that's when she saw it. Slowly, it moved towards her, its mouth stretching wide open, asking her one question. How old are you? Emma told this creature her age, and it replied, not yet. But the terrifying thing is, this creature came back over and over again. No matter where she moved, every 4 years this creature would appear in Emma's house. Her mother never believed her, saying it was just a recurring nightmare. But Emma knew something was targeting her, waiting for the right moment. And on the night before her 18th birthday, she was proven right. That night, this creature appeared again, but this time it said something different. It asked Emma, how old are you? And she replied 17. The creature then stood silently before croaking out the words, next time. Emma turns 21 soon, and she's been up every night, paranoid and terrified that any time now she'll find out exactly what the creature meant when it said next time. Like and follow for more.
Surgery. So what? It just kept like following and following her? Is that based off like a movie or TV show or something like that? That's kind of the vibe I was getting. I don't know. What do you guys think, Seekers?
In the 1800s was fucking insane. Literally no anesthesia, no fucking drugs. You was awake while motherfuckers was chopping you up. One of the professional choppers, Robert Liston, was literally one of the fastest surgeons, which is good because you obviously want that shit to be over with fast. One day he was working so fast on a patient that he accidentally cut off 2 of his assistant's fingers. Both the patient and his assistant later died of gangrene. Oh, that's not all. Also, during the procedure, he accidentally swiped his blade past one of the elderly doctor's coats. The elderly doctor thought he was cut and literally went into shock and had a heart attack. So this motherfucker literally killed 3 people trying to save 1.
These are some extreme, we know so little about it, and something about that doesn't sit right with me. Now, if you didn't like hearing those, I'm sorry, but that's
one of the Marines died. Felipe Calderon, the president, gave him this hero's funeral to the Marine who died. Afterwards, some gunmen went to the wake of the Marine in his hometown and murdered the mother, the sister.
Have you ever wondered how accurate police sketches are? I'm going to show you someone who committed a crime and then a sketch, and we're going to see. And this is a series, so follow along for more. So in 1971, John List annihilated his entire family. John had recently lost his job, but for a while he was pretending that he still had a job. He would leave his house in the mornings, but would spend the whole day just reading and not being at work. He knew his family would eventually catch on, so on November 9th, very slowly and methodically, one by one, he took the lives of his mother, his wife, and all 3 of his children. And then he disappeared to start a new life. That is, until 18 years later, when Frank Bender, a police sketch artist, debuted this clay bust of what he thought John would look like at this time on America's Most Wanted. He age progressed John 18 years from the last time he had been seen, and he even got his glasses right. The bust was so accurate that a man named Robert Clark would be arrested in Denver because his neighbors called in a tip to the FBI. John had been living under that name for 18 years.
It was all-out war in an Uber over a mask. 3 women are hassling the driver because he says one of them refused to wear a mask. Watch as she does the unthinkable, coughing on the driver. Then the irate woman grabs his phone and rips off his mask.
You don't touch my property!
The driver says he even drove them to a gas station so she could buy a mask when they first got into his vehicle.
I never said anything bad to them. I never cursed.
So, who is the woman in question? We've learned she has dozens of modeling pictures on Instagram. Today, she is apparently admitting her outrageous behavior.
All I did was take his mask off and cough a little bit, but I ain't even have corona. He lucky as hell I ain't have nothing on me.
She claims the driver was trying to force them out of the car. Police are investigating the incident.
Since yeah, of course you probably try to force you out the car. You trying to hit him? Coughing on him too? Nobody wants to deal with that. Just be like, Connie, can you exit my vehicle, man? Simple as that. People be crazy, man. They're so entitled.
So many people are going crazy over the new Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. Let me tell you the actual story. Jeffrey Dahmer was born in 1960. He had a pretty normal childhood until he started to become withdrawn. During high school, he started drinking. And over time, it started to become a real problem. His first murder was when he was 18 in high school. He picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks, and when Stephen decided that he wanted to leave, Dahmer murdered him. He dissected him and scattered his remains all over the backyard. And he didn't kill anyone until 9 years later. All his murders, he took Polaroids of. He was into necrophilia, cannibalism, and so much more. When he was caught, he was charged with 15 murder cases, and he was charged with 957 total years in prison. When he was caught, they found 7 skulls all over his apartment, and he confessed to not only killing but eating his victims. In prison, he was attacked multiple times by other inmates, but the thing that ended his life was when he was attacked by an inmate and murdered for what he did. He didn't die on impact, but he died on the way to the hospital. The Netflix show tells you all of this with more detailed information.
On March 5th, 2013, Shirai Mawera and her boyfriend Lovemore Muzarabani left the main road they had been walking down, and they headed out into the bush near Lake Kariba in Zimbabwe. They were headed to a specific spot. It was this beautiful clearing that the two actually went to frequently, and it was a spot where it was very private, and that was good because they like to use this spot to express their love for each other in a physical way. So when they got there, the two of them removed their clothing, and they became intimate with each other. Now, at some point, they were laying on the ground in a spooning position when Lovemore, the boyfriend, hears from right behind him this loud roar coming from the bushes. And he immediately ceases what he's doing and he jumps up. Right as Shirai is beginning to kind of sit up, this huge male lion comes bursting out of the brush and just tackles Shirai, pinning her to the ground. Lovemore, the boyfriend, he just takes off running. He runs till he gets kind of to the edge of the clearing, and then he realizes, okay, I just abandoned my girlfriend to this animal. And he turns around and he looks, but he can no longer hear Shirai screaming. In fact, the only noise he can hear is the noise of this giant lion tearing into his girlfriend while it's still got it pinned underneath her. So, not knowing what else to do, he just runs through the woods as fast as he can, completely naked, till he gets back to the main road they walked in on, where he tries to flag down some traffic, some passersby. But nobody is stopping to help him because they think he's mentally ill. Here you have this guy kind of out a little bit far away from town. He's wearing absolutely no clothes. He's completely nude, and he's just frantically trying to wave down cars. Eventually, some folks do stop. They hear what he has to say. They take him to the nearest police station where he tells them what happened. They get park rangers, and then police and park rangers go out to this clearing where he tells them that it's at. When they get there, the lion is still there. It's eating Shirai. She's clearly deceased. Her throat has been ripped out, and her stomach has been ripped open. They take a shot at the lion. They miss the lion, and then they launch a hunt for this lion. Now, shortly after launching this hunt on that same day, they came across more human remains not belonging to Shirai. They came across a hand, part of a hip, and a full human skull, and it was obvious whoever these remains belonged to had just been killed very recently. It turns out that the night before, a 77-year-old man named Musinji had been walking home late at night when apparently this lion, or one of these lions, had grabbed him off the path, drug him out into the woods, and then he was almost completely consumed. A few days later, park rangers would locate 3 different lions that they think were responsible. They shot all 3 of them. I believe it was 2 males and a female. One of the lions had marks around its neck from a human snare, and it didn't look healthy, so that's why they think this started. It is unknown how many people those lions actually killed and ate.
Let's talk about the outrageous Korean New Zealand children's suitcase tragedy. A case where a New Zealand family purchased abandoned suitcases in an online auction. After they purchased them, they were horrified to find out what they found inside. 2 children's bodies, probably between ages 6 through 10. Now, the terrible part about this case is that the main suspect is the children's mother. So this terrible act was concluded to have happened around 2018. So the primary suspect, the mother that you see behind me, was a woman who had settled down in New Zealand. She was originally from Korea. She married another Korean New Zealand man. However, her husband passed away sometime around 2017 or 2016. Mysteriously and coincidentally, the mother left New Zealand in 2018. Remember, the crime was concluded to have happened around 2018 as well. So, after this family purchased the abandoned suitcases, they reported it to the authorities. Then, the New Zealand authorities cooperated with South Korean authorities to track the mother down. Members of the South Korean public helped a lot in tracking the mother down. People called into the police, letting the police know that they feel like they saw someone who fit the mother's description. Combined with that, the police checked her family background and also made use of security camera footage to ultimately locate her in Ulsan, South Korea. Remember guys, in South Korea these days, there are cameras everywhere in the public. Now it's concluded that the mother, after leaving her children in a suitcase in New Zealand, went to Seoul, South Korea, but also went to Ulsan, South Korea after. I think she tried taking some jobs here and there. Some believe that she was obviously hiding. Now, when questioned by reporters, the mother simply said, "I didn't do it." Now, here's what's terrible about this case. If you assume that the New Zealand family found the children in the bag since they were put in there, that could have been for a span of about 4 years. But the bodies would have been there for several years. That is tragedy-inducing for the people who discovered it. So what happens next? Well, South Korea and New Zealand have an extradition treaty, meaning that under certain conditions, they can extradite this woman from South Korea to New Zealand and probably investigate and try her there. So right now in Korea, they're going to investigate the case and eventually have some sort of process or hearing for whether or not they should extradite the mother back to New Zealand. Anyways, I think a lot of you have probably heard about this case by now, but I think it's another example in which the public knowing about these things can help solve.
This is a true horrifying story, part 25. Warning, this is not a joke. The information that's going to be shared is dangerous and life-threatening. Do not, under any circumstance, commit the actions that will be narrated. This is the world's most dangerous book ever, Shams al-Ma'arif. This book was written by Ahmad al-Buni in the 17th century. But technically, the author of this book is not a human being. I never did and will never read this book. And this is your second warning. Do not read this book. Ahmad al-Buni practiced black magic, and he was in contact with the most powerful jinns and demons before he passed away. The jinns were the authors of this book. The elder generations, like our moms and dads, have heard about this book and they were warned by it. There are thousands of horrifying stories of people who read this book. Shams al-Ma'arif explains everything about black magic, how to get in touch with the world of jinns, how to marry a jinn, and the sacrifices you have to do for the devil, and much more. Unfortunately, this book can be easily found online. One day, a Saudi Arabian man that read hundreds of books for a living decided to read this book specifically out of interest and love for all books, without fearing the consequences behind it. He reached the chapter that teaches readers how to get married to a female jinn. He laughed about it. He tried the ritual to experiment it. The first night after finishing the whole book and completing the marriage ritual, he felt someone breathing next to his face. And on the second night, he felt a hand touching his feet. And on the third night, he heard her voice. The man was officially locked in a marriage with a demon. 5 years go by. He met a normal, beautiful woman that he fell in love with, and they both decided to get married a week before the wedding day. The bride, the bride's parents, and the groom's parents all pass and die in 3 different car crashes. These are the consequences behind this book. And it's also known from many stories of people that have died from reading the first few pages. If you don't finish reading the book, you will get killed. All my stories, all of them, are true incidents that happened one time only. But this book is a product that is permanently available online. I beg you, do not go anywhere near Shams al-Ma'arif. This video is to educate you on the dangers behind this book. Do not go anywhere close to the world of jinns.
I won't. I take heed of his warning.
Women in the streets of London are disappearing, and it seems like nobody's doing anything about it. This is the stalking and capture of Zara Alina. And her whole video is on my profile link, so go to my profile, click on the link. It's
At 9 a.m. on July
Somebody's
14,
following
2012, friends Benjamin Linden and Ryan Solis were surfing near Wedge Island in a bay locally known as Dolphins off the coast of Western Australia. They were right next to another young man named Matt Holmes, who was on a jet ski towing another surfer out to catch waves. And the two, Ryan and Benjamin, were sitting about 100 meters offshore. They were just sitting there waiting to catch the next big wave when Ryan looks off into the water, and beneath him he sees this huge dark shape swimming along the ocean floor. And he immediately recognizes what it is, and he yells over at Benjamin, "We have to go in now." So they start paddling towards shore when all of a sudden this massive 5-meter long great white shark comes rocketing to the surface. It almost breaches right next to Ryan, right on his right side, so close that the spray from its gills sprays all over Ryan. And then the shark goes out in front of his board, off in front of him to the left. It wheels around and it charges at Ryan. And when it gets about a meter away from Ryan, thankfully the shark breaks off its attack. It veers away, but unfortunately it heads straight for Ben, who's about 15 to 30 meters away at this point. Now Ryan, he's actually able to catch like 2 waves that bring him most of the way into shore, but Ben isn't so lucky. And as the shark approaches, Benjamin, he gets his legs up on his board to get him out of the water, and it looks like he's getting ready to kick this shark if he needs to defend himself. But unlike the shark did with Ryan, this shark does not veer away. It comes lunging out of the water, it grabs Benjamin by the legs, and it just drags him off of his board. Now, Matt Holmes, the guy on the jet ski, he's watching this whole thing take place, so he tows his mate into shore as fast as he can. He turns around, he speeds back out there to try and help, and when he gets to Benjamin's body, Benjamin is lying face down in the water. One of his legs has been completely removed, torn off at the hip. The other one has been removed about halfway down, and he's just lying there face down. Now, the shark is circling Benjamin's body, but Matt, he wants to retrieve Benjamin even though he knows he can't really save him. He wants to retrieve him, so he goes to reach for him, but this shark comes barreling up in between the jet ski and Benjamin's body, and it rams the jet ski. Matt said it was almost like the shark was trying to ram him off of the jet ski. So Matt, he circles back around, makes another attempt, but before he gets back, the shark comes up, it grabs Ben's body, and it dives down with it. Matt would go back to shore, he would grab Ryan, the two of them would go out and they would search for Benjamin's body. They would call 000, authorities would come out, a 3-day search was launched, nothing was ever found except for the surfboard with a big bite taken out of it. Benjamin was only 24 at the time he was killed by this shark.
Real life pixie? Or was that an edit? What do you guys think about that one?
This exotic bat with an overdeveloped face, first found in Kenya, could be the carrier of many bad things animal wildlife officials fear. Its large head does not look like any bat ever seen before, and its eyes look very big as well. You don't get to see its teeth though, but I can only assume they are as massive as the rest of its cranium. To make matters worse, most of these strange bats start to appear throughout the area. No one knows where they came from, or what has caused them to have such mutated features. If this new species does carry some sort of strange disease, I really hope they are able to quarantine it and keep it from spreading to other parts of the world. Number 6. A man takes a picture stance and the camera person quickly backs away. Moments later, you get to see what they were so afraid of.
What?
What the fuck?
An overhead tomahawk throw deeply embeds a pair of scissors into the exact place that she was just standing. Slowly, they realize just how close he came to sending his friend to the hospital.
Damn.
Look again and you can see that would have gotten her in the midsection if she hadn't moved away in time. If it goes that deep into solid wood, imagine how much deeper the scissors would have gone. Number 5.
Ooh.
Michael and Durez is in a car full of friends when they hear a distant voice call out from the nearby woods. I didn't really hear much the first time I watched, but when they slow it down, you can clearly hear someone say something like, "Help me, guys." I think
Really?
this should be paranormal, because it doesn't sound like a normal human voice at all. Theoretically speaking, a person screaming at a speeding car with the windows rolled up would almost certainly not be heard by anybody inside. Number 4.
Okay.
This video was taken years ago when Justin Bieber had to go to court. Wearing an orange jumpsuit, he looks straight at the camera with a very serious expression, and his eyes change into creepy off-white color. He blinks again and then quickly looks away. A YouTuber named RyGuyVA captured this video, and as you can see at the end, he is recording a live broadcast on his flat-screen TV. This means this is either an error with the news equipment, or else something we will never be able to properly explain.
4K.
Stop scrolling, because if you like paranormal, you're going to want to see this. And it is semi-disturbing, but I just need to know, is this real, or is this the ultimate hoax? Do you believe in mermaids? Because supposedly one just washed up on the beaches of Kenya. I'm going to show you a video in a minute, but my mind is blown. Tell me in the comments what you think, and I'm going to show you the video. Trigger warning. It's fucking crazy.
Check this out.
It's grunting.
Now, what do you guys think about Seekers, man? We've been watching these past couple of videos how they said they do believe, in Kenya, over that part of the world, they do believe in the mermaids and things like that. Mermaids are sirens, so was that a mermaid, siren, something else? Mutation going on? What do you guys think? It's a creepy one.
The Paranormal Chick here. Take a look at this video that was captured around August 12, 2023 in Kenya. The witness was actually able to capture 2 videos of this truly unexplainable object. Is this a UFO? It's definitely not a drone nor a plane. But what exactly did he record? Take a look and tell me what you think.
Ain't no shooting star. What the hell is that? I don't think that's a drone either. Nah. Go back and forth. Is he trying to make a shape or something? Another one. How come I ain't seen this shit trending on Twitter, man? They trying to hide this stuff from us? It's 2 of them. I thought it was just one. The more you know, Seekers. What do you guys think that was? I need your help down below.
This beautiful house here has never been occupied for the last 30 years since the locals believe that it is infested by evil spirits. It is located in a place called Ruiru, 30 kilometers from the city of Nairobi. What makes house more creepy is the design that looks similar to Freemason Hole. Locals claim that at night, voices will be heard from the house. And if you had courage to live there, you had to prepare for unseen forces. Others even claim that there was a lady who moved to live in the house with her family. She did have information that every man who lived in that house died and the wife becomes a widow. There was also another tenant who applied to move in with his family.
Mm-mm.
That by the time they moved in upstairs, they found that the other things that they had taken up were already arranged. And they ignored because they were tired. At night, windows started opening and banging heavily from invisible forces. Early the next morning, they left without asking for the refund of their paid rent. An Indian businessman also rented the house and burnt incense inside the house to appease the spirits. 6 months later, the locals saw him running out of the compound and was never seen again. The question is the house really haunted, or are these just stories created by the locals?
You guys think, man, there's a couple of freaking creepy stories that a family's moving in and weird crap happening, and they moved out. Me, I'm not even taking that chance. I'll say if a house is something haunted, man, there's a history behind it. Deuces, I'm gone, bro. I don't do those bad spirits, man.
Kuna kiwefu inabidi. Hebu mnasonga hivi. Nipate after image. Tutapiga hivi tutaitoa mbele. Wadau kiwefu inashuka man. Hiyo si ni UFO.
Is that a cloud? Okay. What's going on with them? Why are they walking like that in emotion?
In the late 1980s, in the city of Mombasa, Kenya, something truly terrifying occurred. It was nighttime, and I was driving back home all alone when I noticed a beautiful young lady standing by the roadside. She asked for a lift, but I couldn't understand why she was out there in the middle of nowhere by herself. Despite my confusion, I decided to stop and give her a lift. She said she needed to go home and that she couldn't find anyone late at this time, so I agreed to take her back to her place. As we drove, I realized we were heading to an unfamiliar and isolated area. It was a deserted road with nothing but darkness and emptiness all around. We drove for about 45 minutes to an hour away from the city.
Wow.
I became curious and asked her when we would reach at her place, but she assured me it was nearby. We had a long talk while driving, and she seemed fairly like a normal person. Eventually, we arrived, and I saw her house was in terrible shape. It looked old and abandoned, with nothing nearby, just trees and overgrown grass. I asked her, "Do you live here?" She replied, "Yes, I have lived here for the past 60 years, even though she looked much younger. When she got out of the car, she invited me to stay the night since it was already late. As I was already feeling tired, I accepted her offer without any hesitation and entered the house. I fell asleep within minutes after laying down on the bed, but when I woke up the next day, I was terrified by what I saw. I found myself in a cemetery, sleeping between two graveyards. Panic surged through me, and I fled from that place as quickly as I could and drove back home. It took me a month to return to my normal life after this incident, though the experience still haunts me to this day, and I've never stayed out late at night since then.
Try to bury him alive or something, man? It's too trusting.
The equatorial sun dips low on the Kenyan horizon, casting long, spectral shadows among the stone ruins of an ancient city. This is Gedi, a silent and deserted testament to a civilization that has long since passed into the annals of time. Our journey takes us into the labyrinthine alleys, once bustling with the life and chatter of Swahili culture. Now, only the whispering wind moves through the abandoned structures, carrying with it a chilling echo of laughter that once filled these streets. As we venture deeper, are you starting to feel the shivers of unease? Can you hear the whispers of the past? Drop a comment below and let us know. In the heart of the city, under the skeletal remains of what was once a grand palace, reports tell of spectral sightings. Phantom figures, their forms vague and blurred by the ravages of time, seem to stand guard over their long-forgotten home. The air is dense with unseen energy, as though the very spirits of the past still linger, locked in an eternal dance with the ruins. The myths of the locals tell tales of the jinn, supernatural beings born of smokeless fire, acting as the ethereal sentinels of this abandoned city. And then there's the laughter, a disembodied sound that seems to hang in the still air. A joyous echo from an era long past, yet it brings an unsettling feeling of being watched, of intruding on a space where ancient specters continue their ageless existence. As we draw our exploration to a close, under the vast, starlit African sky, one cannot help but feel a profound sense of connection with the spectral denizens of Getty. The chilling whispers, ghostly figures, and inexplicable laughter serve as a reminder that, in some places, the past refuses to be forgotten. As the haunting image of Getty ruins fades from your screen, tell us, would you dare to visit this ancient, spectral city after dark? Could you brave the whispers of the past and the laughter of unseen specters?
No!
Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling explorations into the world's most haunted places.
I don't think I could. That's a no for me. Too much bad energy over there. Dang, they file their teeth. It's like every, you can culture do things differently, man. But to file their teeth and say that was a sign of beauty. How the king even do that? That must hurt, bro. You filing all your teeth like that? Oof. The more you know, man. What the? Oh no, I hit the jets, but we out. What the hell was that follow? I'm hitting the jets.
There lived a little boy called Kofi. He was as mischievous as he was curious. Kofi often pushed the boundaries set by his parents. Parents would gather their little ones around the fire recounting the story of the Washaka. It spoke of a mysterious creature, a fearsome being from the depths of hell that prowled in the darkness, seeking out disobedient children. The tale was passed down through generations, a cautionary reminder of the importance of obedience and respect. Unbeknownst to Kofi, his disobedient ways had caught the attention of the Washaka. The creature watched from the shadows, its presence concealed by the darkness. Late one night, as Kofi snuck out of his home, the creature materialized before him, its eyes burning like embers in the night. Kofi froze, his heart pounding in his chest. The Washaka spoke with a voice that resonated through the night. It recounted the tales of disobedient children who had crossed its path, only to face dire consequences for their actions. With each word, Kofi's fear transformed into remorse. He saw the pain and disappointment his own actions had caused his parents. The Washaka vanished into the night, leaving behind a sense of responsibility and a newfound understanding of the importance of obedience. From that day forward, Kofi became a changed boy. He listened and followed attentively to his parents' guidance and wisdom.
Gotcha. Shapeshifter confirmed?
Please listen to me when I say that today's case is a current investigation and it is disturbing and ongoing. So if you don't want to listen to something that might distress you, please just skip this. It's okay.
Seek the truth over
2
here.
weeks ago, a horrific discovery was made in the Shakola forest in Kenya. There was a mass grave filled with 90 corpses, the majority of which were children. There were so many bodies that the police had to stagger the search for them, as the local morgues were just getting overcrowded and full. And so the authorities had to reach out to the Kenya Red Cross for refrigerated containers to store the bodies as they waited in line for an autopsy. The grim discovery, understandably, has totally shocked Kenya, but things got worse when they learned why this mass grave occurred. The dead, wrapped in cotton shrouds, had belonged to a strange cult in Kenya, which cult leader Paul Mackenzie Nathenge led. He had taught his followers that the only way to meet with God truly was by starving oneself to death. Now, this sort of twisted teaching is even more shocking when investigators have subsequently learned that Nathenge and his fellow leaders were eating and drinking as normal, urging their followers to fast until they died of hunger, while the leaders ate on. These kids were starved, often at the urging of their own parents, who had become convinced that it was the only way for them to escape the turmoil of this world and to meet with their creator. This cult, by the way, is called Good News International Church. It's a kind of pseudo-Christian cult, and it had a sickening hierarchy to this. They taught that the children had to starve themselves to death first, then the women, and then finally the men would follow, hence why over half of the bodies were children, and most of the rest were women. And so 34 members of this cult were found alive in the forest, which is near the coastal town of Malindi. Some of them were just hiding in the bushes and were close to death after following the teachings of their leader. Now, the president of Kenya, a guy called William Ruto, vowed to crack down on these rogue and dangerous cults. And like I say, people are just traumatized and horrified. Now, the leader, this Paul Mackenzie Nathenge, was a former taxi driver who then became a televangelist and founded this cult in 2003. Now, he had already been arrested back in 2017 for urging parents not to send their children to school because he believed that education was unbiblical. And he was arrested again last month after 2 children starved themselves to death while being looked after by their cult member parents.
How'd he get out?
Now, this happened 2 weeks ago, like I said. But since then, new details have emerged because investigators have uncovered more to this case. Firstly, the death rate has rose since then. Now it's 133, and they're expecting that figure to rise again. But the autopsies on all those bodies, so not all of them, but a lot of them I think, have been completed, and they've revealed something. Starvation does appear to be the leading cause of death, but some of the victims, including the children, were murdered and beaten, strangled and suffocated. What's more, the autopsy revealed that the children had missing organs, which means that this cult was harvesting the children's organs to sell.
For money.
Believe it or not, the human body organ trade does actually exist. Sometimes they're sold for religious purposes with claims that body parts, particularly of children, can have magical or healing properties. As for this cult leader behind all of this, Paul Nathenge, well, he was granted bail last Thursday.
How?
However, prosecutors are pleading for him to be held in custody until the investigation is complete.
Yeah.
I'll watch this story and keep an eye on it and let you know of any significant updates, but I just thought it was remarkable enough and sad enough to bring to your attention that these things happen. Well, if you want more spooky, strange, and, well, I guess disturbing stories like this, you can follow me on TikTok or check out my Scary True Stories show, Frightful. It's a podcast. It's available all over the place for free. I've just finished an episode all about imaginary friends, and that explores the paranormal and supernatural elements of that. Or if you're into reading, then you can maybe check out some of my books on Amazon. Just search Peter Laws. Thanks.
That was a freaking sickening case, man. Tell you, man, when people get wrapped up in a cult, in a group like that, they'll do anything, man, that they say. Like I said, it's scary how that type of person, they can have an influence on your life like that, and you just follow every word they say to the T, man. We learning out here today, Seekers. You know, this world is a cruel place.
scariest last words ever said by serial killers. And I found all these. Finally, we have Eileen Wuornos. Eileen was on death row for killing 7 men between 1989 and 1990. And her last words were, "I'd like to say I'll be sailing with The Rock, and I'll be back on Independence Day with Jesus, June 6th, just like the movie, big mothership and all. I'll be back." Hearing all of those was haunting, but that's why...
Seekers, what do you guys think, man, of those freaking last words from those individuals, man? Like I said, bro, it's hard, man, if you can sum up your life in just a couple of words, and those were some choicy words that you shouldn't have, bro. Some of them saying they was gonna come back, some of them was just freaking completely gone, man. That one freaking confession though gave me chills. He said, "Will I be able to freaking feel the blood gushing out of my head?" Like, what the hell type of thing is that to say about your last words, Seekers? Tell me what you guys name, man.
Just imagine capturing this on your Ring camera. It was 2018 and just outside of her condo in Phoenix, Arizona, when Jessica Catania got an alert on her phone and saw this. According to her eventual statement, she immediately realizes she's in danger. She locks her bedroom door, she starts dialing 911, but that's when she heard it. So whoever this man was, he then pries open the living room window and pops out the screen. He's in the house. But this woman, Jessica, she's like incredibly resourceful in a stressful situation. She immediately grabbed a hammer, any weapon that she could find from her closet, and she hides in her bathroom. But while she's waiting in there, she's got the door locked, but it would only be about 3 minutes before she eventually hears police inside her condo. The problem is, they never found the man. To this day, she has no idea who this man was or why he broke into her condo. In the investigation, police would eventually nickname him Smiles.
Smile Seekers? How couldn't they find no evidence, man? Seekers, could you guys imagine that, bro? Like, you just in a freaking bathroom waiting, bro. Because you see somebody freaking just broke into your freaking house and he said he got in through the screen door, man. Yeah, please those screen seekers, bro. Shoot, that about to make me replace mine, man, because they're just so easy to freaking to get into, bro. It's freaking insane, man. How he's able to get into the house while there's no trace of him, bro. He just got away with it, man. I'm telling you, Seekers, bro, this world today, man, it's freaking crazy, bro. You always gotta be aware, man. You never know what can happen, bro. Good thing she was alert.
We need to talk about this photo, because Josh Maddox was found inside this chimney with his knees bent over his head, and he had been there for 7 years. So what happened to him, and how did he end up stuck inside a chimney for that long? Allegedly, Josh went out on a walk one day and completely disappeared, until one day a builder from Colorado Springs wanted to demolish his old abandoned cabin, and that's when Josh was found curled up and mummified inside the chimney. But the strange thing is, even though his body was found with its knees bent over his head, there were no injuries or broken bones. The coroner who performed Josh's autopsy believes he crawled up the chimney himself, and he curled up in that position to protect himself from something. But this case gets even more bizarre from here. Not only was Josh found in such an unnatural position, but he was found only wearing a thermal suit. The rest of his clothes were in the cabin neatly folded. So why would he fold up his clothes and then crawl up the chimney? The chimney also had a heavy steel mesh grate built into it, so it would have been impossible for anyone to slide back down the chimney. Many people disagree, but this terrible incident was eventually ruled as an accident, even though we'll never truly know what Josh wanted to protect himself from by crawling up the chimney. Follow for more.
A man in India became infected with a deadly plant fungus in the world's first case of human infection. The 61-year-old man went to the hospital with complaints of recurring cough, hoarseness of voice, difficulty swallowing, a sore throat, and fatigue that had been lasting about 3 months. The man, who was not named, is a mushroom hunter and had no underlying health conditions that would put him at risk. It is completely unclear when he contracted the infection, since he waited a while to go to the hospital. Doctors performed an X-ray and CT scan on the man. The X-ray on his chest came back normal, but the CT scan results showed a paratracheal abscess on his neck. That's what this is right here. Paratracheal abscess can block airways and lead to life-threatening infections, which can be deadly if not caught and treated quickly. The pus was completely drained from the abscess and was sent to the World Health Organization in northern India for testing, and the man was given 2 antifungal medications to take for the next 2 months. Doctors diagnosed the man with this, which I cannot pronounce, and it is a plant fungus that causes silver leaf disease in plants. Silver leaf infects the wood and leaves of some trees, causing them to turn a silvery gray color, and is spread by airborne spores. Researchers shared that until this case, there has been no evidence that humans could be infected by this particular fungus. Of all the millions of fungi out there, currently just a few hundred can affect humans and animals as well as plants. One researcher writes, quote, "Over the past several decades, multiple new pathogenic fungi have emerged. The worsening of global warming and other civilization activities opens Pandora's box for newer fungal diseases. Rising temperatures can expedite the number of mutations that occur in fungi, increasing drug resistance and adapting them to survive in humans."
That's pretty scary, Seekers, man. Freaking new fungi infections and stuff happening, bro. Like you said, that was the world's, I guess, first case. It goes to show you, man, how freaking far the freaking world's progressed, bro. Like, that new fungi is this stuff, man. Like, if it can affect humans, bro, that's new freaking diseases and stuff, and we do not need that right now, bro. That's basically, yes, feeling like the freaking Last of Us, man. Remember that episode of that freaking doctor talking about, you know, the fungi and the diseases and stuff, bro? I remember that, bro. It sent like chills down my damn spine when I saw that episode. It's crazy, man. People gotta be more aware, bro. What's going on around the world, man. I didn't even know something like that was even possible until I watched these videos with you guys, Seekers, man.
Hey y'all, what if I told y'all that the classic horror movie Jeepers Creepers was inspired by a real-life killer? If y'all remember this opening scene in the movie, this is quite similar to today's true crime story. On April 15, 1990, a couple named Ray and Marie Thornton were out for a drive in Coldwater, Michigan. All of a sudden, a van passes them high speed. This kind of surprised the couple, but they just kind of went on about their business. As the couple continued their drive, Marie notices the same van that passed them earlier. She saw a man disposing a large white sheet covered in blood in a large tank by this abandoned schoolhouse. Seconds later, that same man she saw followed the couple for several miles. He saw the couple when he disposed the bloody white sheet and decided to go after them. Luckily, the couple was able to lose him. Let me tell you about Ray and Marie. These two were so bold that they decided to go back and find the man so they can write down his license plate. They went back and they saw the man changing license plates on the side of the road, and Marie also saw that there was blood on the interior of the passenger side door. So they got the license plate information and went back to the abandoned schoolhouse, and that's when they discovered the bloody white sheet, and they called 911. What Ray and Marie didn't know that day was that 46-year-old Dennis Depew murdered his wife, 48-year-old Marilyn. Dennis and Marilyn were married for 18 years, and Marilyn was just not happy in the relationship, and she wanted a divorce. Dennis was mad about the divorce, plus the joint custody between their 3 children. That day, Dennis and Marilyn got into a heated argument, and Dennis pushed Marilyn down the stairs in front of their children. Dennis told them that he was going to take their mom to the hospital, and that was the last time that they saw their mom. The next day, Marilyn's body was found alongside a road, and she had a bullet wound in her head. There, the manhunt for Dennis Depew began. Dennis created a new identity, moved to Louisiana, and even had a girlfriend. Almost a year after the murder, Dennis was seen, and he led the police on a 15-mile chase from Louisiana to Mississippi. After refusing to pull over, the police created a roadblock and shot his tires. When Dennis stopped the car, you'll be surprised how many horror movies out there that are inspired by real-life killers. Alright, y'all, I'll be back to do more true crime videos for you guys.
Seekers, man. Like I said, but I be telling, I need to tap in with us, man. I be saying, but like how these movies and messages and stuff, man, like these movies, TV shows, like, you think it's like just a story and stuff like that, but no, there's like some messages behind the stories. They can be based off like true stories, but they just turned it into something else, man. So I really got to think about that, put that in this perspective when watching these horror movies and stuff like that. Like, it could really be based off a true story, man. They just taking it, just mixing it up, just, you know, for some entertainment, bro. Because I never knew that, man. Jeepers Creepers, bro, based off a true story? It's bone chilling, man. Truly. Makes you think about how many of these other horror movies and stuff like that's based on true stories. It really gets you thinking, Seekers. Set them free. The system, man.
I tried to create living zombies with uric acid in the drug.
One of those failed experiments to create a living zombie was conducted on this 14-year-old boy. Jeffrey had drilled a hole in his head and poured in acid, a crude attempt at lobotomy, but none of his victims survived.
No, the killing wasn't the objective. I just wanted to have the person under my complete control to do this as I wanted. It's not easy to say that, but that's what the motive was.
You wanted to make a living zombie, bro? You were speaking every single time, man. Like I said, when I watch these videos, I learn something new, bro. I never knew you try to make a freaking living zombie, bro. The things that those freaking victims had to go through, man, it's really, truly speaking sinister, bro. Put like acid in his head and try to make a living zombie, man? What even possesses a person to even do that or those type of thoughts? Seekers, bro. This world. It's not even no words for that one, man. I'm telling you, bro, when I watch these videos, I learn something new every day, bro. Like, I've heard some of the freaking Jeffrey Dahmer's, the stuff he did, but I never knew he tried to make living zombies. Like, what the hell?
Why on earth would you have hurt those people? Why did you kill those people?
Smile.
No comments. No comments. I cannot answer you at this time.
And that's why you killed them.
Right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me.
Nonetheless, you killed 7 men.
Yes, you
and
did.
I'm asking you, what got you to kill the 7 men?
And I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Not every...
That was her answer because the cops kept letting him kill. This is the stuff that makes people be saying society, bro, we're cooked, bro. That was her answer because the cops kept letting them kill him. Well, like, what type of answer is that, man? No remorse, and you saw that first guy just smiling saying, I can't say nothing at this time, bro. Like, what? There's no explanations needed, man. We all know what if you can do. Seekers, bro. Man, it's a society, bro. We gotta do better, man. Do better. Is that a play? What the hell was that?
Scary facts. And you know if you smell smoke, and there is nothing burning, that could mean you could be surrounded by spirits.
Seekers, have you guys ever, has that happened to you, man? Like, smell smoke, but there was nothing around, so that means you was around spirits? I don't think that ever happened to me before. The more you know, man. I never thought about it like that, bro. So if you smell smoke, man, up and around, bro, that means you could be picking around some spirits' energy. Is it good or bad energy, bro? We need to know that. That's the freaking true question, man. You always want to be around good spirits, bro. Keep that bad energy, bad juju away from me, bro. We don't mess with that over here, Seekers, man. We're all about positivity. I'm going to have to check up on that one.
August 12, 1967, 19-year-old Julie Helgeson and her friend 18-year-old Roy Ducat set up their sleeping bags under the stars, so no tent, about 500 meters away from the Granite Park Chalet in Glacier National Park, which is in Montana. The two were going to get to watch this crazy lightning storm that was going on, just this amazing show before they would eventually fall asleep. Eventually they did fall asleep, only to be awakened a few hours later at 12:30 a.m. by this horrible smell. And very quickly, Julie, to her horror, discovers where this smell is coming from. There's an adult grizzly bear just looming over the two of them.
Oh my goodness.
And she whispers over at Roy and she says, "Play dead." But as soon as she says this, the bear just rips Roy out of his sleeping bag. It jumps on Roy's back, and it begins biting his shoulder before it moves down and begins biting his legs, and then it's biting him on the back. Now Roy, amazingly, is able to stay silent, stay limp. He plays dead, and when the bear thinks that it's killed Roy, it turns to Julie. And now Roy can hear the sound of this bear biting into Julie through her sleeping bag, and Julie immediately begins screaming for somebody to come help them. At this point, the bear picks her up and begins dragging her downhill away from the chalet towards the woods. Roy, he gets up and he kind of runs, hobbles to this camper that's not too awfully far away, and he's pounding on the door. A man opens up the camper door and sees him all bloodied. The man gives him some medical aid, and they call for help. They call Rangers. A helicopter comes in, gets Roy, flies him to a hospital, and, he makes it just fine. And then this park ranger is gathering a group of people to go look for Julie in the darkness, but it takes them 2 hours to gather enough people where they feel safe. Eventually they get about a dozen people, including a doctor, and they go down the hill in search of her. They come across a blood trail, and about 100 yards away from where she was initially attacked, in the woods, they come across Julie. And amazingly, she's alive. But her right forearm has been gnawed down to the bone. She has puncture wounds in her throat, and in her chest, in her lungs. She has bite marks all over her legs, which have since stopped bleeding, which is not a good sign. So they scoop her up, they bring her back to the chalet, they get her there at about 3:45 a.m., where two doctors who are staying at the chalet begin to work on her. But very quickly they realize she's lost too much blood, and they just don't have what they need to save her. There's no way that they're going to save her life. So they do the only thing that they can think to do, which is give her an injection of painkillers to ease her passing, and then a priest held her hand and gave her her last rites until he felt her go limp, and she was pronounced dead at 4:12 a.m. What nobody knew was just miles away, a different bear attacked a different girl, and it was much worse.
Ooh. Seekers, man. As I said, when you going out camping, man, you have to be freaking careful, because you never know what could happen, man. You're in the woods, wilderness, bro. Like I said, bears, wolves, anything, man, can be out there lurking in the dark, bro. If you're gonna do that, man, if you can advise to our seekers, bro, to be safe, man, and to have a weapon out there, man, so you can always protect yourself, defend yourself, or whoever you with, so you won't be in a situation like that, man. They were just trying to watch a freaking lightning storm. Freaking fell asleep, bro, and look what happened, man. I'm surprised the guy, he survived that time. They had to play dead. That was the only option, man. But I think what freaking messed it up was when they said it took 2 hours, man, when they had to find everybody. That was just time wasted, and I think it was already too late by then, bro. Tragic, tragic story, Seekers, man. If you guys stay with me to the end of the video, man, you're a true seeker, seeking the truth. I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate the support on the channel, guys. Guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that post notification bell. Hit that like button, man, so guys, we can grow the Seekers to even bigger and better heights. Really appreciate you guys' support, man. We're growing. I see you guys supporting the videos. I see all you guys' comments, man. I just want to say I really appreciate it. You guys gonna catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, Seekers.